Welcome to Green Machine Football, playoff style. I am John, really along with Josh Pierce, going to bring you all the action here from Geneseo in this opening round playoff game against the Johnsburg Skyhawks.
Well, you're not going to get a better afternoon when we're out here today. It's a beautiful sunny day. The wind's blowing just to keep the breeze going. And right now, Geneseo's going to host, like you mentioned, the Johnsburg Skyhawks, 6-3, pretty much a northwest suburb of Chicago, coming down here. And much like, I don't know if people read the articles today in the paper, we're going to see a lot of probably an 80-20 passing ratio from these Skyhawks. So Geneseo's going to have a test here in the secondary.
They'll line up similar to some of the other teams we've seen in the playoffs in the past, such as Riverside Brookfield or St. Viator's, as they'll line up with 4 wide receivers and 1 back in the backfield, and they'll drop back and throw that ball. We'll have to contain the quarterback today. Their quarterback with on the year throwing the ball 2,824 yards passing the ball this season for the Skyhawks. So a nice day here at Geneseo. Sun's out bright. If you're listening to us, throw on a sweatshirt coming out to the game. There's plenty of seats left here as the band leaves the field. We're set to start the football game here and start the second season. Well,
you can throw the records out the book now when it comes playoff time. One victory moves you on, and a loss sends you home, as we saw last night with the Sterling in the Rochelle, where Rochelle upset Sterling, and it shows you just one game and you move on, and one loss and you go home. So you got to play every game that's in front of you and not look ahead.
You're exactly right there, Josh, and certainly I'm sure the boys in the field saw that Sterling Warriors beat last night, and hopefully they take that to a positive, that they need to buckle down here and get the job done here at home this afternoon. So Geneseo will open the game by kicking off, and Reske has his tee on the 40-yard line on the left hash mark. They'll be kicking with a nice stiff breeze at his back. The flags are standing straight out. Temperatures are low 60s here to start this game as we start this first round playoff game. Geneseo in the green jerseys, yellow pants, yellow hats, and the black shoes. The Skyhawks from Johnsburg, blue pants, white shirts, and blue helmets.
Well, this is what you play. This is what you practice for all season long. You play these games, and no matter what you do in the regular season, it all comes down to the playoffs. And Saturday afternoon here in Geneseo with the leaves changing color, and you can smell the burning leaves a little bit. And what a beautiful day for Geneseo football, and it's a tradition here.
What an atmosphere to play football in. So here we go. We're getting teed up, ready to start this game. The referees take their positions. Geneseo going from the south to the north here at home with a nice breeze. At his back is Timmerman. Number 9 approaches the ball. Nice kick, like knuckleball, going to bounce at the 2-yard line and roll into the end zone. That's a touchback, and now have to bring it up to the 20-yard line to start their first possession. Does the Skyhawks of Johnsburg.
Well, once again, Timmerman with that big foot was able, especially with the breeze behind his back, to kick that one really hard through the end zone. And we're right off the bat, we're going to see what Johnsburg here on their passing offense has got in store for Geneseo with the touchback starting on their own 20.
Up front for Johnsburg, they'll go 1 tackle. Number 52 will go 210. The guard on the same side is 210. The center is 240. The other side of the ball is 300 and 160 up front for Johnsburg. 4 wideouts, 5 wideouts this time. Shotgun formation. Spreads Geneseo's defense pretty thin. We have 3 down linemen. Quarterback sprint out the near side. They're going to get the ball down the field. Nothing going that time. Pressure up the middle. Going to be hit nice solid there after a gain of about 5 on the play as the quarterback's flushed out of the pocket. We only had 3 men rushing, but he still had to flush out of the pocket. Coverage is good downfield.
Right there, you saw what Johnsburg's going to come out and do. They're really going to spread you out, and what that's going to do is make individual matchups, and Geneseo did a nice job in the secondary to cover the wide receivers and pretty much give the quarterback no option, and he had to take it down and run with it, and he got a nice little stick there at the end of the play to make him know that Geneseo is ready to play some football here Saturday.
Once again, Johnsburg comes up. 5 wide receivers, no backs in the backfield, shotgun formation. Paradis, who it knows for the Geneseo, 3-man front, putting pressure up front. Quarterback looks to let go of the ball, down deep it goes, and overthrown to number 20, down deep. Cuban on the coverage, had him in his sights, not real close to him, but had him in his sights in case he did catch the ball.
Well, that's what this Johnsburg's team's going to do, is really going to spread you out. You're going to have to get your matchups. You're going to have to recognize who's coming out in the pass play, and that time they had a free guy running down the far side, and luckily for Geneseo, he was able to overthrow him, and Cuban reacted maybe just a little bit too late, but an incomplete pass, and already you can see the threat that Johnsburg brings here throwing the football.
Johnsburg brings their tight end out near side, out wide. Fedorovich, he's 6'8", 220 pounds, 3rd and 5. From their own 25-yard line. Paxton tries to put some pressure on the quarterback, drops back to pass the ball. Over the middle it goes, number 5 on the catch, and gets the first down. They move the ball to the 41-yard line. 3 defenders right there, Rivera, Glazier, and Russell right there, but just he threaded the needle right between them.
Yeah, Johnsburg, there's a reason why he threw for 2,800 yards this season. You could see him find the open receiver there, and just a crossing pattern behind the linebackers that time, was able to complete it for the first down. Geneseo did a nice job of getting some pressure on him, and hopefully that'll continue to happen and make him rush some of these throws.
The ball's out to the 41-yard line of Johnsburg. 1st and 10, 1 back in the backfield with a quarterback. That's Decker, number 20. 3-man front for Geneseo. They're going to give it the ball to the running back this time. He stops short. As soon as he got that handoff, Paxton drops him for a loss of 3 on the play, as Paxton read that one perfectly, and he was all over that one in the backfield.
Well, that's one thing they'll try to do, and spread this team out and leave a back in the backfield, like Coach Johnson mentioned in the paper, something that Riverside Brookfield didn't do. So it makes you honest on the run, and that time Geneseo, like you mentioned, Paxton coming up and doing a nice job of recognizing that for about a loss of 3. Going to bring up 2nd and long here on their own 39-yard line.
Brooks checks in for Paradisio at the nose guard position. Geneseo offsets the line to strong side, this near side. 4 down linemen this time for Geneseo. Brooks at the nose. Mearchikirth out wide on this near side. Quarterback shotgun formation, drops back to pass. They get the ball over the middle and caught. Going to be short of the first down, or maybe right at the first down. Glazier comes up to make the hit right at the 50-yard line. He falls to the 49, completes that time to the fullback Deckers. He comes out of the game with a bad shoulder, looks like, Josh, after the tackle by Glazier.
Yeah, once again, a crossing pattern across the middle. They're finding a nice little empty zone there in the middle against Geneseo's defense. Kyle Glazier came up, put a nice hard stick on him, and he walked off with a shoulder injury, probably a stinger. And one thing you want to do, if they do complete this pass, you want to let them know that you're out there and you want to hit them, make them think about catching that ball across the middle again.
9:50 left in the first quarter, 3rd down and 1 for Johnsburg. No score on the board. Shotgun formation, no backs in the backfield behind the quarterback. Quarterback draw this time, going to keep the ball, number 1. He's going to pick up the first down plus some, and Geneseo brings him down pretty solid. After he picks up the first down, he moves the ball down to the 43-yard line of Geneseo.
Well, Geneseo had a linebacker kind of staying at home there, trying to kind of mirror image the quarterback, but that time when you spread him out that far, he was able to get a seam, and like we mentioned, it was 3rd and 1. He only needed a yard. He was able to pick up 5 or 6, and right now this Johnsburg team's got a nice drive going here inside Geneseo's 43-yard line.
Buff, the quarterback this year, is known for his throwing, but also able to scramble out of the pocket and pick up some yards that way. 1st and 10 for Johnsburg. They'll go with 4 wideouts this time. 1 back in the backfield along with the quarterback. 3-man front for Geneseo. Snaps back, shotgun formation, pressure to backfield, got someone out in the flat this time. Incomplete, right at the first down marker on the coverage that time. Here comes Russell.
Well, nice job of spreading everybody out and recognizes who's coming out in the patterns. That time it was just a quick out here to the near side, and Russell did a nice job of recognizing who the receiver was, and a little bit of pressure there. I'd like to see a little more pressure and force him into a quicker throw, or even have to make him think that the sack's coming.
Rotating a lot of personnel out there, Josh, as far as Paradisio and Hull check in this time. 3-man front, linebackers walked off the ball, solid 5 yards. 1 back in the backfield along with the quarterback. Long count, snaps back, good crossing pattern. Ball goes across the middle and stuck after the catch. His nice catch by 21, but nice hit that time was the Mearchikirth right at the 30-yard line. It'll be a first down for Johnsburg, but certainly knew he got hit that time as he came across the middle.
Yeah, he's got his hands on his waist there. He know he got hit pretty hard, but at any rate, it's a first down. They're moving the ball here, having good success over the middle right now, John. And that time he had all day to throw the football. Geneseo's going to have to find a way to pressure him a little better to hurry these throws or maybe even get a sack.
I think maybe they're trying to rotate the personnel up front a little bit, Josh, to get a feel up there who's going to work and keep them fresh. This time Paradisio lines up over the guard slot and nobody else on the outside of him. 4 wideouts, 1 back in the backfield. Drop back to pass, looking for a screen play right up the middle. And it's going to be a nice wall in front of him. On the carry, number 9 still on his feet. He's going to be free, still going, and gets inside the 15-yard line. Down to the 14-yard line goes number 9 on a nice run. Letzler on the screen play. Beautifully set up by Johnsburg.
Well, right now, Johnsburg's doing a nice job of keeping Geneseo out of their sequence and not getting any flow. And with a rhythm quarterback like this, once he gets a rhythm in it, and he seems like he's in it, that they're moving the ball in chunks against Geneseo. It's going to bring up 1st and 10 at the Geneseo 15. And right now, Geneseo's defense going to have to step up here and make a stop.
4 wideouts, shotgun formation. 1 running back stands right alongside the quarterback on the left side. 3 down linemen for Geneseo. Shotgun fakes the handoff to the fullback up the middle, looking to throw the ball downfield. Quarterback looks to the corner end zone, and touchdown for Johnsburg.
Well, the secondary out there, they just they're running around chasing receivers. Johnsburg's doing a nice job of spreading it out, and right there was probably a nice drive for Johnsburg. Went down the field, passed the ball other than one time with the draw, and was able to move the ball in chunks like we mentioned. It was able to lead to 6 points.
So it scored a touchdown in the south end zone, over in the deep in the corner of the end zone on the reception. Failed that time on the reception, as there's a lot of receivers out there in that area. Let's see if they go for, they are going to go try for 2 here as they go for the play known as a swinging gate. 2 receiver out wide to left. Quarterback in the center, over the ball, shotgun formation. He stands back about 10 yards off the snap. Geneseo's prepared for this. Man comes in motion, looking to run the option play. Quarterback's got it. And he tips it high over, forward pass over the heads of everyone as a shovel pass over the heads for the touchdown, or the 2-point conversion for Johnsburg.
Well, right now it's an 8-0 lead for Johnsburg, scored on their first possession, and not a lot of balls hit the ground there that time. I know Geneseo scouted them, and in practice they practice against this passing, but when you get in a game situation, you got to recognize the receivers coming out in their patterns, and right now Geneseo not doing a good job of recognizing that, and Johnsburg went down and got the first score of this game.
So it's what we thought we'd see when we came into the game, just a wide open offense, and certainly well done that time by Johnsburg down the field. The only glitch on it was a drop for a loss on the one running play they tried for a loss of 3, and then they came right back and just outguessing us. So we'll have to.
Well, we mentioned this before. This is the playoffs. You throw the records out the book, and you got to come in here and play. And Johnsburg did a nice job their first drive of getting points, but Geneseo's going to get the ball back here, their first possession, with a chance to tie this thing back up, and they got to come out with some enthusiasm and some excitement and match this Johnsburg score.
That was it, to take it and just drive it right up the field on him here. Back deep for Geneseo's Cuban at his own 20-yard line, looking to return this ball. Geneseo men up front stay tight as the Johnsburg kicking team stays tight in their huddle. Now they'll break, and Geneseo will loosen up also. Number 66 on the kick, Greg. Kind of a knuckleball, is going to go downfield, going to be fielded down there by Munson at the 26-yard line. Just fell out wisely there, and Geneseo's offense will come on the field and see what we can do up front against this Johnsburg defense.
Well, with this passing offense coming in, we knew it'd be tough for the secondary. We see Riverside Brookfield, and we've seen St. Viator do it a lot. And once you get a quarterback in a rhythm like he was getting there towards the end of that drive, and it's tough to stop him. But there's a lot of game left here.
That was a 9-play, 80-yard drive by Johnsburg. 14-yard touchdown pass puts the points on the board for Johnsburg. Tight formation, Geneseo. Glazier at quarterback. Russell comes in motion, get the ball first man through, Root on the carry, number 34.
Well, just a quick hit here to the right side. It looked like he kind of stumbled a little bit before he could get to the line of scrimmage and not really get his legs underneath him. Just looks like about a gain of 1 here. Going to bring up 2nd and 9.
7:50 left in the first quarter. 8-0 Johnsburg on top of the Maple Leafs here at Geneseo.
Well, right now this offense has got to realize this is their first possession. It's changed. Time to get the tempo back here and get some of this momentum swung back in Geneseo's favor.
Major Kurth goes out wide to the left side of the offense. Overload on that same side of the left side. Second man through is going to get the ball this time. Peters on the carry that time. Nothing going. He runs into the pile on that left side.
Well, right now Johnsburg's playing with a lot of emotion after coming down and getting that first score, and Geneseo's running the offense just like they normally would if it's a 0-0 score, and Johnsburg really stuffing that line right now to prevent the Geneseo Maple Leafs from running the football here.
Up front for Johnsburg, number 68, that's up front for them. Plett, 240. Nose guards, number 52 up front at 210. The other end, or tackle on the far side, is number 86. They're running a 4-man front. 2-down lineman, 4-down lineman, 4-man front. Gives the ball to fullback up the middle. Going to get up over the 40, or over the 35. They'll mark it right at the 35. We'll be about 2 yards short of the first down.
Well, this early in the game, you think Coach Johnson's probably going to go to a punt situation here, but it looks like he's going to run a play in here. It's going to be 4th and 2 from about Geneseo's own 35-yard line here. So this is going to be a huge play here in the first quarter, going for this on 4th down. But right now he realizes he's got to get some of this momentum back. And that last play, we saw a little bit of Geneseo's line starting to dominate this line of scrimmage here. So I think he's putting his faith in these guys right now.
Up we come the line of scrimmage. Dornfeld brings them up. flanked by Hull and Brooks, along with Paradiso and Talbot at the tackles positions. They go for a long count this time. Second man through has it this time. Peters still on his feet. He's going to get the first down, still fighting for yardage over the 40 and brought down by a host of players. Brooks goes down and cleans somebody up nicely downfield.
Well, that's what this team needs. We know that this team can get down on themselves, especially down with an 8-0 right off the bat. But
that's a confidence builder right there.
That's a huge confidence builder. You see some emotion. You see Brooks come across and pancake a guy here about midfield. And right now, Geneseo's got the momentum back. And I think Coach Johnson realized that if we can keep the ball out of that quarterback's keep the quarterback off the field here for Johnsburg, we can dominate this game.
5:33 left in this first quarter. 8-0 Johnsburg on top of Geneseo at their 40-yard line. First and 10 for the Leafs. Wingback comes in motions. Russell. Quick pitch out to him. Might have a corner. Russell with the carry. Going to pick up about 3 or 4 on the play. Maybe 3 yards for Russell. He runs the sweep near side. Brought down by Johnsburg's number 16, Elliott, on the tackle.
Well, Geneseo a little slow to get going here in this first quarter, but now they got the wheels a moving a little bit. You can start to see the line of scrimmage starting to get pushed back here on Geneseo's favor, and that time it was just a sweep, 21 sweep to this near side here. He was able to pick up 3 or 4, and right now Geneseo is content to just get 3-4 yards of crack and drive this ball down.
Up they come to the line of scrimmage. Balanced formation this time. Major Kirk tight on this near side. Paxton lines up tight on the left side. Double wing formation, route to fullback. Peters goes in motion, cross back action in the backfield, and Russell had some moves left in him there, but slipped on the grass as he tried to make his cut. Picks up about 3 or 4 in the play. It'll bring up a 3rd and 3 for the Leafs.
Well, like you mentioned there, just a cross buck. You fake like you're going left, you come back to the right side, and that time Johnsburg had a tough time keying on the play and finding the ball, and that time he was able to pick up another 4 yards. Going to bring up about 3rd and 2 here from the Geneseo 49-yard line. 4 minutes and 14 seconds counting down here in the first. Johnsburg up 8-0.
Johnsburg does line up in a 5-man front this time. 3 down linemen, 2 stand-up ends. Linebackers, everybody's within 6 yards of the line of scrimmage for Johnsburg. Gives this time to Root. He's going to pick up the first down plus some. He gives the ball into Johnsburg territory down to the 45-yard line.
Well, you can see the Geneseo crowd starting to get into it a little bit more now. I think they were as shocked as we were here to watch Johnsburg come out and go down the field. But
implement things so well, yeah.
But now this offensive line's really starting to move this Johnsburg team down, and now we're starting to see the Geneseo offense that we saw against Rochelle a little bit last week.
And I haven't had a chance yet, Josh, to really analyze what players are going both ways for Johnsburg, but I understand they have a lot of players going both ways. They're going to put 6 linemen, 9 linemen up front now for Johnsburg. Quarterback going to keep the ball this time. Glazier on the carry and picks up a nice first down, and Paxton again cleans up some weak stuff standing around the huddle, around the pile.
Yeah, referee's talking to him a little bit about that one. It might have come a little late, but
the whistle hadn't stopped, and Glazier picks up 5 yards.
You played at the end of the whistle, exactly right. And right now, Geneseo's having a nice drive here on their first drive to try to match the score of Johnsburg.
Rivera brings a play in, number 18, the senior. Manny Rivera, 6'3", 200 pounds, lines up at the tight end. Now he's going to split himself out wide left. Geneseo's going to overload that same left side with Talbot, Paradiso, and Brooks on the same side. Wingback comes in motion. Peters, second man through, is going to get the carry. There's a big flag on the play inside the line. Hit Geneseo lineman as he lays on the ground. They're going to call a holding call, I believe. That would probably indicate a holding call.
Yeah, the way the referee threw that right there at the beginning of the play, it's usually a holding call, and that's what they're going to call here on Geneseo. So this is going to a crucial drive here where you're trying to match points, and a penalty here is going to back you up and put you in a situation you didn't want to be in, which is going to be 2nd and long.
Flag lays at the 41-yard line, or 39-yard line.
Not only is that a hold call and going to back him up, that also negates probably a first down,
yeah,
John, on Geneseo's part.
So bring up a 2nd and 13 for the Leafs from the Johnsburg 49-yard line.
Right now, the offensive line of Geneseo doing a nice job controlling that line of scrimmage. It's going to push him back here to 2nd and long, and Geneseo's yet to go with a real good counter or even throw the ball. I think they're having really good success moving these guys back.
Up we come. We're going to overload that. Excuse me, we're not over. We're balanced formation this time. Tight left, tight right, double wing. Peters goes in motion. Sweep play, far side. Corner's made outside by a nice block out front by Russell. He's going to bring it up to the, take it out to the 44-yard line. I'll make it 3rd and about 8 for the Leafs.
He was able to get 5 or 6. Nice hard run there by Peters to just sweep to the far side there, kind of like the sweep we saw to Russell here on the near side. He was able to pick up 6, and that's what you want to do. You want to get it back.
Russell made a nice block out front.
Get it back in increments, and you obviously realize that Coach Johnson on 4th down, if this is anywhere close, he's going to go for it again if he went for it as on his own 35.
2 minutes left in this first quarter. 8-0, Johnsburg on top of the Leafs. Leafs on their initial possession as they're marching it down the field at the Johnsburg 43-yard line. 3rd and long. Crossbuck action in the backfield this time. Up the middle goes Russell with the ball. He's made break free. He's over to 20. He's down to 15-10. Touchdown, Russell, number 23. To the flag on the play. Way upfield on Geneseo. Negate the touchdown. Once again, the flag lays at the 38-yard line.
Well, we saw Kyle Glacier almost get tackled before he could get the handoff, and I'm sure the offensive lineman probably put a hand out to try to stop that, and he got flagged for it. And once again, the biggest killer to a drive is going to be holding. The first one negated a first down. This one negates a touchdown. So Geneseo find themselves in a little hole here. 1:43 in this first quarter, trailing 8-0.
So it will be let's call it 3rd and 12 for the Leafs.
One good thing we are seeing out here, we're seeing Geneseo's offense. Looks like they're starting to take over this game here a little bit. And if it wasn't for all the laundry on the field here, Geneseo would have matched their score.
Tight formation by Geneseo once again. 3rd and 12 from Johnsburg's 47-yard line. Double wing set, goes in motion. Crossbuck action in the backfield. That time Peters with the carry, gets it up over the 40 down to the 39-yard line. It'll bring up a 4th and about 3 for the Leafs. I see no reason why not to go for it at this point, the way we're moving people up front.
Yeah, that excellent hole there. You could drive a car through that first initial wave, and he looked like he had a shot to break it outside, and he put his head down and just lowered his head there and was able to pick up 7-8 yards. And once again, Geneseo's going to go for it here, 4th and 4 on the Johnsburg's 40-yard line here, trailing 8-0. Big play of the game here.
Geneseo's fans come to their feet on the far sideline. 4th and 3. Let's call it 4th and 4 for the Leafs with 1:08 left in the quarter. Rivera out wide left. Paxton sets himself tight this near side. Goes in motion. Peters going to get a corner. Gets the first down by Peters. Moves the ball down to the 28-yard line. First down, Geneseo.
Well, right now we're seeing this offensive line really take over, whether it's the left side or the right side. They're getting 7-8 yards, not to mention the broken play there for a touchdown that got called back.
Right.
And right now, Geneseo's killing themselves with the penalty, but this drive goes on, and right now, I'd say the momentum's starting to switch back here a little bit.
7-yard pickup that time by Peters. Move the sticks, the first down. Geneseo 1st and 10 from the Johnsburg 32-yard line, and Johnsburg will take their first timeout here in this first half. So certainly, yeah.
Well, this timeout gives us a chance for TV50 telecast sponsors, B&B Lawn Equipment and Cyclery, Becker & Becker Plumbing, Heating and Cooling, Central Bank Geneseo, Chicago Street Decorating Center, Eric Henderson and Greg Anderson of Country Insurance and Financial Services, Geneseo Dairy Queen, Tom and Doug Kern of Edward Jones, Farmers National Bank, Geneseo Municipal Electric Utility, Geneseo Telephone Company, Goodrich Equipment, Hammond Henry Hospital, Hazelwood Homes, IDC Tech Center, Jenny Dogs, Beef Dogs and more, Northside Rexel Drug, Protec Auto Body, and Turpins of Geneseo. Thank you for all your support.
So Geneseo, a victim of a couple of their own penalties here, their own mistakes in this drive, but certainly have kept alive solidly. We've gone for 2 4th down and 2 or 3 yards for both of them, and picked up both of them handily on this drive. Again, the penalties, there's been 2 10-yard penalties on this drive alone against the Maple Leafs. One called back a first down midway through the drive, and then the called back of a touchdown here about 3 plays ago. So
well, the positive note on that is, you know, most penalties will cost you a drive, and right now Geneseo's been able to overcome that. We got 7 points or 6 points taken off the board by one of them, but this drive's still alive and really dominating that line of scrimmage. 1st
and 10 for the Leafs, 44 seconds left in the quarter. Crossbuck action in the backfield this time. On the carry goes Russell, number 23, falls forward, gets to the 30-yard line. They'll mark it on the 30. They'll bring up a 2nd and 8 for the Leafs.
Just a little misdirection there. He was able to get a couple of yards, going to bring up about 2nd down and 8 yards from Geneseo 30-yard line. And one good positive note for Geneseo's offense is I think Johnsburg's really trying to pack that line of scrimmage, and you can see everybody within 5 yards of the ball, but they're still not having success stopping that run.
Yep, they're putting all 11 players within about 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. Even when we split a receiver out, they're not dropping anybody back deep. So Rivera comes near side, which is the right side. We overload the right side this time with Talbot. Wingback comes in motion. Second man, Glazier's going to keep the ball, number 10, and falls forward for about 2 as he missed the handoff in the backfield. He falls forward, gets 2, will make it 3rd and let's call it 7 for the Leafs. And that will do it for the first half here at Geneseo High School. First round playoff game. It's the Johnsburg Skyhawks 8, Geneseo 0.
This TV50 telecast is sponsored in part by B&B Lawn Equipment and Cyclery, Becker & Becker Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, Central Bank, Geneseo, Chicago Street Decorating Center, Eric Henderson and Greg Anderson of Country Insurance and Financial Services, Geneseo Dairy Queen, Tom and Doug Curran of Edward Jones, Geneseo Municipal Electric Utility, Farmers National Bank, Jenny Dogs, Chicago-style eatery, Geneseo Telephone Company, Goodrich Equipment Company, Hazelwood Homes, Hammond Henry Hospital, IDC Tech Center, Northside Rexall Drug, Protec Auto Body, Turpins of Geneseo, 100.5 FM WGRG. Please patronize these fine businesses and let them know you appreciate their support of this TV50 telecast.
Welcome back as we get set to start this second quarter here at Geneseo High School. First round playoff game. Geneseo Green Machine and Johnsburg Skyhawks. It'd be 3rd, and let's call it 3rd and 5 for the Leafs as we come back on the field. We'll go from the north to the south now in our green jerseys. Gold pants, black shoes, and gold helmets with a G on the side against the Skyhawks of Johnsburg. Blue pants, blue helmets, and white jerseys trimmed in blue. Up we come, 3rd and 5 for the Leafs from the 27-yard line of Johnsburg. Overload near side. Going to go that same way this time. On the carry goes Root with the carry that time, I believe, out of the fullback slot. Or excuse me, that was Peters once again with the carry from the wingback slot. He'll be up very close to the first down. It'll bring 4th and about a yard for the Leafs.
Well, Geneseo's converted 2 4th downs already to keep this opening drive alive. This one's a lot shorter and manageable at 4th and 1 from the Johnsburg about 23-yard line. And this is the plays that really keep the ball game in check. And Geneseo's offensive line's got to move these guys and allow their running backs to get that yard.
As they said, they'll come up the line of scrimmage. Johnsburg will put everybody they have up in the box. Balanced formation ahead of Glazier. Give the ball this time to Peters. Depends on where they mark the ball. No indication yet if it's a first down or not. And they're going to stop the clock to bring the chains in to measure it. I think it was a good mark on the ball as far as he laid on the ball as he went down. They marked it right there. Referees are on top of it to see how the chains make out when we bring them on.
Well, that time looked like Peters left his feet and kind of jumped to try to get towards that line of scrimmage. And anytime you leave your feet, you leave yourself vulnerable for the defense to come up and stop you short. And that's exactly what they did. Almost looked like they might have lost a little bit on that play. And Geneseo, you can only convert so many 4th downs before they catch up with you. And that time, Johnsburg did a nice job of controlling that line of scrimmage and stopping Geneseo.
So we drove the ball down the 23-yard line, stalled out on downs there against Johnsburg, and Johnsburg we will turn the ball over to Johnsburg here. 1st and 10. They'll have a breeze at their back now as their offense comes from the field for the second time today.
Well, right now, this defense got scorched the first series by Johnsburg as they move the ball up and down the field. They got to relax and play their game here and try to get some pressure on this quarterback.
Quarterback goes up under center this time for the first time. 3 wide receivers. Now the big tight end goes in motion to the right side of the. Now a fake handoff in the backfield, looking to throw the ball in the flat. He's going to be pushed out of the backfield this time and scampers up and gets maybe 5-6 yards on the carry on the scramble.
Well, that time it was a nice job by the linebacker to recognize that back coming out of the backfield. That's what they wanted. It looked like they wanted to try to get to, like a little screen they set up. And that time they were able to get some pressure on him and force him to run. He was able to squirt out of there for about a 4-yard gain, but Geneseo did a nice job of polishing up and getting a nice good hit.
All right, 2nd and 6. Ball sits on the 27-yard line of Johnsburg. 4 wideouts. Quarterback in the shotgun. Geneseo gives the ball to number 20 Tech this time on the carry. Gonna be short of the first down. It'll be a 3rd and short for Johnsburg.
Well, on that opening drive at Johnsburg, Geneseo had a couple of times where they had him 3rd down and long, or 3rd and 5. This one's going to be 3rd and about 2 or 1 here even. And this is the time. This is when your defense has really got to step up and shut this Johnsburg's offense down.
Play comes into the huddle for Johnsburg. Again, we've seen shotgun. We've seen him go under the quarterback, go directly under center 1 time so far in the game. They'll send 3 wide receivers near side or the left side of Geneseo's defense. 1 goes wide to the right side. 1 back in the backfield. Next to the quarterback, the bump. It's 3rd and short. We give the ball to number 20 in the backfield this time. He's going to be short of the first down. It'll bring up a 4th down, I believe. Well, they're going to get the first down. No, they're going to lose yardage on the play. It'll bring up a 4th and a solid 2 yards for Johnsburg.
Well, Geneseo doing a nice job of realizing they were just spreading them out to try to get the run. And right now, Johnsburg's got coaching staff's got a real decision here on their own 31-yard line whether they want to go for it on 4th and short. And it looks like they're going to go for it here.
Nobody wants to punt the ball today, so Johnsburg will go for it. 4th and 2 with 9:18 left in the second quarter. Johnsburg on top, 8-0. 3 wideouts to the top of the screen or to the right side of Geneseo's defense, to the left.
Got to watch
quarterback by himself. Fake punt in the background and go outside screen this time. And going to be, they'll pick up the first down on a screen play. The punter faked a punt, and then he did throw a short screen play. Return man Brandon across the field and picked up the first down. They'll move the sticks. They move it out to the 43-yard line of Johnsburg.
So Geneseo's defense there looking to spread it out, and they thought quarterback draw, and that time the backfield just snuck back out, and they had success that first drive with the screen play, and that time they set it up again on the left-hand side and were able to pick up the first down. Geneseo's defense got to step up here and make a play.
Shotgun formation, 1 back in the backfield along with the quarterback. 4 wideouts. 4-man front, gives the ball to fullback up the middle once again, number 20. And him then picks up maybe a yard, maybe 2 if that, but be about 1 yard, 2nd and 9 for Johnsburg.
Johnsburg having a tough time running against these linebackers in the front 3. Like you mentioned, we're only rushing 3 at one time. It's the pass that's really opening up the game, and they're doing a nice job of keeping that back on the quarterback draw or the draw to the back and stopping him short. It's going to bring up 2nd and 9 here as 8-12 counting down here in the second quarter.
Powell along with Brooks in the middle of the defense for Geneseo. Both ends are down in 3-point stances. Quarterback drops back to pass, looking for a receiver across the middle. Gets a big tight end across the middle and gets a nice hit that time by Glazier down about the 41-yard line. And nice pass that time to the big tight end, 6'6", or 6'8", 220-pound Fedorovich.
Well, Geneseo didn't get any pressure out there on the front line, and he was able to sit back in the pocket in the comfort. And right now they're playing pitch and catch across the middle. Geneseo's secondary is able to not get anybody deep on them, but they're just sitting waiting to make the catch and then make the hit. They're going to have to be something aggressive here and try to turn a turnover here.
Ball on the 42-yard line of Geneseo. 3 down linemen this time for Geneseo to put pressure on the quarterback. Drops back to pass. Across the middle it comes, and it's completed. Nice defense, but it's completed and caught by Decker, the fullback, and takes it down to the 20-yard line. Nice defense that time. All over it that time was Peters, I believe, but just came up short on the defense. Nice catch by Decker for Johnsburg to move the ball down to the 20-yard line of Geneseo.
Well, Jacob Cuban there came out there, and he recognized it was a quick out, and he almost looked like he went for the interception of the tip down there. And when you go for an interception like that and you don't get it, you're going to leave yourself wide open to a big play. And that time he wasn't able to get out there quick enough. And right now, on their second drive, Johnsburg here going down on our own Geneseo's 20.
First and 10 from the 20-yard line of Geneseo. Fake hand off the back. Looking to go backside. He got another screen out there, and it's short. Drops it on the ground. Major Kurth got a hand on it that time. Incomplete, as they had that screen set up backside once again against the Geneseo defense.
Well, like you mentioned, John, 86 running down the middle there. That's their big target, the 6'8" senior. And that time he drew a lot of coverage, and that's what's freeing up that screen pass to the wide side, because 3 or 4 guys are taking him and leaving the back coming out wide open.
Second and 10 from the 20-yard line of Geneseo. 7:08 left in the second quarter. 2 wideouts left, 2 right, or 3 receivers out to the left side, 2 on the right side. All their linemen big splits, 3 or 4 foot splits. Geneseo's defense put the pressure on Paradisio's, flushes him out of the pocket. Quarterback still looking for somewhere to go with it. Ball's fumbled and bounces right back up in the quarterback's hand. As Geneseo put big pressure that time on the quarterback. Paradisio has had some big pressure in the backfield to knock him or flush him out of the pocket. Loses 3 yards in the play, brings up a 3rd and 13 for the Johnsburg Skyhawks.
That was a great job there by the front 4 of Geneseo. They only rushed 3, but they brought a linebacker and were able to get at him, and it was real close to being a sack for about a loss of 10 yards, and then got the turnover, and that would have been huge, but he was able to fall on it. Going to bring up 3rd and long from the Geneseo 23-yard line. 6:30 counting down. Geneseo down 8-0.
Shotgun formation, 1 back in the backfield along with the quarterback. Sprint out action, right side. Across the middle goes the big tight end with the catch over the middle. And it completed down around the 15-yard line. They'll bring up a 4th and about 3. Let's call it 4th and 4 for Johnsburg at the 15-yard line of Geneseo.
That time Geneseo had nice pressure by the end, and he went for the tackle. I think if he would have put his hands up, he could have deflected or disrupted that pass. They hit the big senior 6'8" there, as we mentioned earlier, and it's going to bring up 4th and 5, and a chance for Geneseo to make a real statement here by shutting this offense down here and ending this second drive.
5:41 left in the first half. Geneseo is down by the score of 8-0. 4th and 4 from their own 15-yard line for Johnsburg. Quarterback drops back to pass, looking for a screen play right over the middle once again. Number 20 on the carry, going to pick up the first down, or close to the first down, as they need to mark that. Yeah, they're going to give him forward progress. They're going to stand right on the 10-yard line to mark, and that would be enough for a first down. Again, we've seen that screen play quite often already from Johnsburg. As our pressure comes in, they're just dropping it over our linemen. Whether the middle screen or they set the screen up out to the sides.
Geneseo's defensive line so eager to get at that quarterback, and they have to feel when that line is letting them go to the quarterback, because that means they're setting up this screen. And right now, 3 out of 4 times, Geneseo hasn't been able to recognize it. And it's turned out to be first downs for Johnsburg. And now you're looking at 1st and goal from the Geneseo 10-yard line. 5:07 counting down here in the second.
They need a play here by the defense. 1 receiver out near side, which is the right side. 1 back in the backfield in the shotgun formation with the quarterback. Sprints back to pass, flushed out of the pocket once again. Number 2 in pursuit this time is Paradiso, brings him down at the 9-yard line. Maybe a yard on the play.
Geneseo's doing a real nice job on that end. That time it was Major Kurth forcing him out of the pocket, and Paradiso chased him down. And Geneseo's been able to have good defense on about 2 of these 3 plays. It's the 3rd play. They're allowing the first down to come and keep these drives alive.
Brooks checks into the game. It's 2nd and goal from the 9-yard line for the Skyhawks. 8-0. Skyhawks on top of the Leafs here with 4:27 left in this first half. Going towards the north end zone here. The breeze at their back is the Jayhawks. They'll send 3 receivers out near side of the right side of their offense. 1 back in the backfield on the coverage. Geneseo out near side. They're going to throw the ball out to number 5. Close to the goal line. He dives inside the 5. Will bring up a 3rd and goal from about the 3 for the Skyhawks.
Well, that was just a quick out. That's almost like a sweep play for Johnsburg, and he was able to miss the first tackle at Geneseo and make a move, and it's going to bring up 3rd and goal here from about the 2.5-yard line, and Geneseo has to make a defensive stand here to get some of this momentum back from this Johnsburg team.
You'll have to look for the pass to the big receiver in this situation. 6'8" tight end for Johnsburg. He'll line up this time wide to the right side. Rivera be on the coverage with the big fella for Johnsburg. 3rd and goal. Quarterback out of the pocket, looking to go to the corner with the ball. And dropped in the end zone by the Skyhawk. He was wide open in the end zone, ran right through his hands and dropped it. Number 83 on the incompletion. Greer And bring up a 4th down for the Skyhawks.
Well, they need to talk to the settle of the secondary down, because right now they look like they're flustered and back on their heels. They got to realize that ball's fair game. They can't wait for him to catch it and then be aggressive and tackle him. That's not going to do you anything here. That's going to be a touchdown. So they got to be aggressive here, and aggressive enough to cause a turnover or stop this drive here. 4th and goal from the 2.5-yard line for Geneseo's defense.
3:21 left on the clock here, right before halftime. 3:21 left before halftime. Wide receiver goes out wide. The 6'8" receiver out wide to the left side. Geneseo on the coverage at far side. On the 2-yard line, looking to throw the ball. Quarterback's going to be flushed out of the pocket, looking to throw the ball. And touchdown by Johnsburg. Scrambled out of the pocket and got it to the receiver right at the corner of the end zone. And there's another 6 points by Johnsburg.
Well, Geneseo is having a tough time. They're recognizing the receivers, but they just stand behind him and wait for him to catch the ball. And when he's standing in the end zone, that's a touchdown. And right now, Geneseo down 14-0 with 3:14 against a passing team. And they got to do something here and get some of this defense going. Their offense has had success moving the ball in the first possession, but like we said here, it's going 3:14 and counting down, and Geneseo's only had the ball 1 time.
Once again, they'll go for 2 here. They have a swinging gate situation or play set up with 2 receivers wide to the left, and the whole line sets up to the right side. Once again, they're going to go the option play, looking to throw the ball, and completed for 2 to make the score 16-0. Johnsburg on top of Geneseo.
Well, this is one thing you worry about with the passing team, is letting them get in a rhythm, and they got some big targets out there. Geneseo's secondary's having a hard time coming up and making a play, and it's resulting in first downs. The drive keeps going, and Geneseo down 16-0. And right now, this quarterback's completion rate, I'm sure, is rather high against Geneseo.
Yes, it is.
They're having a hard time making a play, and down 16-0 here. You hope Geneseo comes out with a spark here and gets a score here before halftime, because you definitely need to get the momentum back in your side.
You're right there. That is for sure. That was a 15-play, 77 yards for Johnsburg that time. They used up 7 minutes and 53 seconds of the clock here in this second quarter. 3-yard touchdown pass bump to Rossman for the touchdown, and a 2-point conversion was passed to the tight end Kyle Fedorowicz.
Well, Geneseo right now, they forced him into some 3rd and longs and some 4th downs, even that they were able to convert. But you gotta get him off the field, like they mentioned, in order to get the ball back. And this is the second time Geneseo is going to have the ball this half.
So they have it teed up. Now they'll look to kick the ball deep. They'll have a little breeze at their back. Knuckleball goes downfield, Geneseo. And Gentry will fall on the ball at the 28-yard line.
Well, right now, Geneseo's got to circle the wagons. They got to realize it's 16-0, but there's a whole half of football. There's 3:11 on the clock here in the second quarter, and a nice sustained drive, get some points before half, and you got to come out and make some adjustments against this quarterback and get this game back in your favor.
So 1st and 10 from our own 28-yard line we go. Glazier comes to the huddle. 3:11 left on the clock here in this first half. Johnsburg up by the score 16-0. Up we come. Dornfeld brings them up. Glazier looks them over, double wing set, tight formation. Wingback comes in motion. Glazier's going to keep the ball, number 10. Slides down at the 31-yard line.
That's a nice job there, recognizing that he can hang on to the ball. He did have the running back there for a pitch if he wanted to, about 5 yards down the field. And Geneseo's just got to realize that you got to get some points on the board this drive. You can't get overly excited that you're down 16-0, but you got to get something out of this drive here.
2:45 left in the half. Up they come the line of scrimmage once again. 2nd and 7 will meet them when they come up there. Wing back near side is Russell. Peters at the top of the screen, number 32. Glazier sprint out action to pass the ball. Gets the ball out to Peters, incomplete. And falls to the ground at the 35-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 7 or 3rd and 8 for the Leafs.
Well, when you run the wing T and you don't complete those passes, it's going to bring you up a 3rd and about 7. And right now, this Johnsburg's defense and their offense especially is putting Geneseo in a situation of throwing the ball, which they're not accustomed to. And right now, it's 3rd and 9, 3rd and 8, we'll call it, from Geneseo's 30-yard line, and they need a conversion here to keep this drive alive.
Rivera comes out left side. Wing back on the right side. Now he comes in motion. Second man through is going to get the carry. And Peters with a carry brought down just after he gets the handoff That'll bring up 4th down for Geneseo, 4th and long for the Leafs.
Well, there's a timeout on the, looks like a timeout on the field. I don't know if Johnsburg's calling it or.
Geneseo will bring the punt unit on.
Yeah, Johnsburg's going to call timeout here with 2:20 left in this second period and have another shot at this Geneseo defense. With this timeout, TV 50 telecast sponsors B&B Lawn Equipment and Cyclery, Becker & Becker Plumbing, Heating and Cooling, Central Bank, Geneseo, Chicago Street Decorating Center, Eric Henderson and Greg Anderson of Country Insurance and Financial Services, Geneseo Dairy Queen, Tom and Doug Kern of Edward Jones, Farmers National Bank, Geneseo Municipal Electric Utility, Geneseo Telephone Company, Goodrich Equipment, Hammond Henry Hospital, Hazelwood Homes, IDC Tech Center, Jenny Dogs, Beef Dog and More, Northside Rexel Drug, Protect Auto Body, and Turpins of Geneseo.
So Geneseo will go in punt formation. Russell do the kicking from his own 20-yard line. Return man stands back at his own 35. 2:20 left on the clock here in the first half. Geneseo down by the score 16-0. Nice snap back to Russell. This time a spiral kick going to come down. Fair catch called for at the 43-yard line of Johnsburg. That's where they'll take over here right before halftime with 2:13 left in this first half.
Well, the story of the game is Geneseo's had 2 drives, which led to 0 points, and Johnsburg's had 2 drives and led to 2 touchdowns. And the quarterback's having good success throwing all over the field. It's Geneseo's defense now, which is going to have to keep them off the board before halftime here. And hopefully the adjustments by Coach Johnson and that staff at halftime will bring a Geneseo a victory here in the second half.
So it will be 1st and 10 for Johnsburg. Shotgun formation, 2 left, 2 right. Geneseo's defense up front. Kernan, Hall, Paradiso, linebacker Verstrady walks up tight. Drop back to pass, looking for a receiver downfield, flushed out of the pocket this time. Still looking for somewhere to throw the ball, fumble the ball, and he falls on it. Number 1, the quarterback, and they're going to call it an incomplete pass. So it'll bring up a 2nd and 10 for Johnsburg.
Well, good pressure there on the end on this side of Geneseo to get to fluster him out a little bit, but they just haven't been able to catch him in the backfield. He's been able to slip away, and when he slips away, it gives him an opportunity to make another completion. And now it's going to bring up 2nd and 10 on the Johnsburg 42-yard line here. Johnsburg 2:04 counting down in the second period.
Natives on the far sideline didn't like the call there of an incomplete pass. We thought it was a fumble, which would have left the clock running. So they'll come to the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 10. Johnsburg's own 43-yard line. Snap back to quarterback by himself. Quarterback drops back to pass. Pass goes across the middle and incomplete. And Glazier comes up and puts a little hit on the receiver as just a little nudge, let him know we're there to hit you. So it'll bring up a 3rd and 10 for Johnsburg.
Well, this is a down and distance that Geneseo wants to be in. It's 3rd and long here still on Johnsburg's 42-yard line. That time he had a receiver cutting across the middle again, and Geneseo's backing their secondary up, but I think they're backing them up too far, John, and exposing that middle field about 10, 12 yards down the field.
We'll have to watch that screen play once again here, whether it be a middle screen or side screen, also a draw play. Howell checks himself in at the nose guard position. 3rd and 10 for Johnsburg. Wide receivers, 3 at the top of the screen, 2 at the bottom. Quarterback in the backfield by himself, snaps back, ball's on the ground. Number 2 looks to throw the ball across the field. Got all kinds of time, downfield it goes. Cuban overthrown, incomplete. Nobody there, and Geneseo just didn't put pressure on that time. He had all kinds of time after he dropped the ball to get it picked back up and regain his composure.
Geneseo is so concerned, I think, with the wideouts and the guys coming out of the backfield. They weren't able to get pressure on him, and that time he had plenty of time to recover after actually making a bobbled snap there, and threw it down deep, and Cuban was the only Geneseo defender in range of that, thank goodness. But right now it's going to bring up 2nd and long here for Johnsburg, excuse me, and
it'll bring up 4th and 10 from their own 43-yard line for Johnsburg. After the Geneseo punt, really haven't moved the ball at all since the punt return. But we'll go 4th down for Johnsburg. 3 receivers top to the left and 2 to the right. Long count. Quarterback's going to punt the ball this time. Let the ball roll. He punts it down to the 10. It's going to roll all the way down into the end zone. And Geneseo will come out to the 20-yard line with another chance here with 1:42 left in this first half to get something on the board.
Well, that time Geneseo's did a nice job of disrupting him, and like we talked about with a rhythm quarterback, he had a bobbled snap and stuff like that starts getting to you, and you start getting you out of your rhythm. You can control a passing team like they did. And
they actually bobbled the ball twice in that series that series of downs with 3 plays.
And those 2 bobbles led to Geneseo stopping them for the first time this afternoon here with a minute 42 to go here in second quarter. Geneseo going to take the ball at their own 20-yard line, hopefully get something going here before half.
Paxton goes wide left. Top of the screen, Rivera, number 18 to the right side. 2 backs to the back. We look to throw the ball out to Rivera. He slips and falls. He starts to make his cut for the ball.
Well, right now, Geneseo's offense, after that long drive, is struggling to get anything going. It was just a quick hit here to the outside to Manny, and he was able to had an open and had a nice gap there, but he was able to slip down there just before the ball was thrown to him.
Right.
It's going to lead to an incompletion and bring up 2nd down and 10.
From the 20-yard line of Geneseo, going towards the north end, or going to the south end zone. Breeze is at their face. Glazier looks him over. Tight formation this time. Wingback goes in motion. Gives the ball a route to fullback number 34. Looking for a seam. Going to get a first down. That'll stop the clock. After the first down, they move the sticks.
Timeout Geneseo here. Minute 33 in the second quarter, and that's one thing that we've seen Johnsburg do to us. They spread it out there, and then they'll run that draw to that back or even to the quarterback, and that time Geneseo spread it out a little bit more. And
now they'll start the clock as soon as the changer's set here with 1:33 left in the first half. Clock's on a move. Wide receiver near side is Rivera. Looking to throw the ball down the field to Major Kurth right near the sideline, looking to get out of bounds, dives out of bounds. They will stop the clock after a pick of about 4.
Yeah, the coaching staff looked like they indicated for a timeout there before that play, and they decided not to go with it. This time they just went to the same quick hit to Manny on that far side. This time he didn't fall down and was able to complete it and get out of bounds. It's going to bring up 2nd and about 6-yard line. Minute 24 here in the second.
So the nose of the football sits on the 35-yard line of Geneseo. Manny Rivera comes wide left. Major Kurtz to the top to the right side. Fullback is Root behind the quarterback of Glazier. Drops back to pass, short drop. Now he drops back to pass, scrambles out of the pocket and gets out of bounds at the 45-yard line. It'll be a first down for Geneseo.
That time he just pump fake like he was going to go deep, and it brought them linebackers way back and was able to give him a nice lane. And Kyle did a nice job of not only getting the first down, but being smart and wise and realizing that the time's an enemy right now at a minute 17, and was able to step out of bounds at about the Geneseo 46-yard line, 1st and 10.
So Glazier just stays next to Coach Johnson, picks up the play, brings her to the huddle with a minute 17 left in this first half. 2 wideouts come near side. Peters along with Rivera. They stand at the left side. Quarterback drops back to pass. Major Kurth on the catch. Going to be good. And to move the ball into Johnsburg territory to the 49-yard line.
Well, they're saying he didn't get out of bounds on that. Clock still running. I question that a little bit.
Referees blow the whistle. Timeout called by Geneseo.
That's a good timeout. I think he thought he got out of bounds, and he didn't. The clock ran. They saw a couple seconds. I know Coach Johnson kind of got in that referee's ear there. But at any rate, Geneseo's going to have to use a timeout with a minute 5 here, just crossing into over midfield. And right now, their offense definitely needs a score here on the board, John.
Sure would be nice to see Tyler Root best one up right up the middle of the field here for a long run, but a minute 5 left in the first half. Down by the score 16-0 are our Maple Leafs here at home in this first round playoff game.
With this timeout, TV 50 telecast sponsors, B&B Lawn Equipment and Cyclery, Becker & Becker Plumbing, Heating and Cooling, Geneseo Central Bank, Chicago Street Decorating Center, Eric Henderson and Greg Anderson of Country Insurance and Financial Services, Geneseo Dairy Queen, Tom and Doug Kern of Edward Jones, Farmers National Bank, Geneseo Municipal Electrical Utility, Geneseo Telephone Company, and we'll come back to it after this play.
Geneseo comes from the sideline, goes right to the line of scrimmage. Rivera comes set wide left side. 2nd and 5 for the Leafs. Ball's on the 49-yard line of Johnsburg. 1:05 left in this first half. Glazier sets him. Major Kurth wide to the right. Rivera tight or wide to the left side. Drop back to pass. Flag's thrown in play for a motion. Downfield it goes to Major Kurth, caught down by the 20-yard line, but they're going to call motion call on Geneseo here at the 50-yard line.
Yeah, before the snap there, he got going, and that's going to negate about a 30-yard pass play. And we've already seen one touchdown come back because of a penalty, and now you got a long game. What was going to set up Geneseo about the 25-yard line of Johnsburg, and that's going to come back again.
Illegal shift, Geneseo.
Right now, Geneseo's offense shooting themselves in the foot. 58 seconds left in the second period, and nice pass there, and good job at Geneseo's offensive receiver to go up and get the ball, John, but it's going to be negated because of a penalty again.
I think just what happened to one of the players on this left side was just a half a count ahead and just kind of leaned forward, and they caught him on it. Well, make the call and march off 5 yards and bring it back to Geneseo's territory to the 46-yard line. 47-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Leafs. 58 seconds left in the clock. Major Kurth tight or wide to the right side. Rivera tight to the near side. Drop back to pass. Gets the ball out and incomplete. As it was knocked down by the big tight end or big defensive end for Johnsburg, number 86. Had the hook and ladder lined up, set up on this near side that time.
Yeah, that time, guys, offensive or defensive end there, 86, did a nice job of getting his hands up. That's what they tell you to do. If you can't get to the quarterback, try to disrupt the pass. And that time he did a nice job. Like you mentioned, it was set up there for a hook and ladder, and he had him open. I don't, not sure what would have happened after the completion, but nice job there by Johnsburg of disrupting that. Going to bring up 3rd and 10 here from Geneseo's own 46-yard line.
48 seconds left on the clock here in the first half. Russell goes in motion, gives the ball a route to fullback number 34, fights forward, going to be close to the first down, short of the first down. Although he fought for the last couple of yards there, it'll be close. Clock is still moving with 38 seconds left in the half. Now they'll stop the clock to measure, I believe.
Coach Johnson over there.
They're going to call it a first down, aren't they? They're getting ready to mark the ball for first down.
Yes.
First down, Leafs.
Nice job, Tyler Root. Like we mentioned earlier, you do a good job of spreading the ball out, and then you cut them up with the middle. And right now, 37 seconds. Geneseo's going to hurry to the line.
Geneseo comes on the line of scrimmage. As soon as his down markers are set, they'll run the play. 1st and 10, Leafs at the 44-yard line. Down the middle it goes, a seam pattern that time to Peters. It just slides through his hands at the 42-yard or 40-yard line, incomplete. They'll bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Leafs from the Johnsburg 43-yard line.
Nice job that time at Geneseo. I don't know if Johnsburg was ready for him to actually go with the play. He hit him in the stomach, and Peters had some running room, and I think he took off running before he had the football. And now with 31 seconds left here in the first half, Geneseo facing 2nd and 10 on the Johnsburg 40-yard line.
Rivera comes wide side to the left side. Along with him comes Peters. Stands just outside the hash mark. Ball's on the right hash mark. Sprint out action this near side. Glazier with the ball downfield. It goes completed out there and got out of bounds. Goes Peters at the 33-yard line. First down for the Leafs.
Great job between Kyle Glazier and Peters there. They did a nice job of running together across the field. The deep guy Manning was covered by double coverage, and he found the open guy, which was Peters. And not only Peters did a nice job of making sure he got enough yards for the first down, he got out of bounds with 25 seconds left.
The 25 seconds left in the half. We have 2 timeouts remaining, I believe, on the Geneseo Maple Leaf side. Major Kurth goes out wide the right side. Russell comes that same side as a wingback or as a slot back. Glazier looks him over, drops back to pass, sprint out that right side. Gets the ball out to Peters near the sideline, fighting for yardage. Out of bounds he goes. Runs across the track, gets about, see where they mark it at over there. Going to mark it about the 23-yard line. That may be close to a first down for the Leafs. First down, Geneseo.
Well, Geneseo doing a nice job of moving the sticks, and that's what they say under 2 minutes. You know, if anytime every play moves the sticks, you're doing a good job. And right now that clock sitting at 19 seconds is an enemy against Geneseo, but they've got 2 timeouts.
19 seconds left. 1st and 10. Ball sets on the 22-yard line. Gets the ball out to Major Kurth, out to the sideline, incomplete. And Geneseo will take a timeout there.
No, they're going to call completed.
That was completed. So, yep, I couldn't tell. Major Kurth got up so quickly. I thought maybe he hadn't caught the ball, but he did catch the ball. Moves the ball down to the 19, it's about the 17-yard line of Johnsburg.
Geneseo's offense doing a great job of moving the ball around, and right now I'm sure they want to keep that 1 timeout in their pocket in case they have to run in a field goal try here with 15 seconds counting down. With that timeout, though, it does allow you to go over the middle, John, if you got a guy open.
So Geneseo's did a great job here in this last series of downs to move the ball downfield with only 2 timeouts in their pocket, and they've used one of them and moved the ball. I'm not sure where the drive started from. They certainly did a nice job of moving it down the field here.
It started from the 20 there. They kicked a quick kick there in the end zone.
That's right, 20-yard line. So
Geneseo's done a nice job with the clock running down here with under 2 minutes of really performing a good job of getting them in the red zone here of Johnsburg.
15 seconds left in the half. 2nd and 5 for Geneseo from the Johnsburg 17. Looking at Major Kurth, gets the ball up in the air, high to him, and brought down by incomplete. The ball must have fell out to the side as Major Kurth went up solidly for that ball. Now we have 9 seconds left in the clock, and the clock will remain dead until the ball snapped on this next play.
Well, Grant Major Kurth, the senior, going 6'5", 195, and that time they just put a little fade pattern to the right side of the end zone and hoped your guy would beat our guy, and that time he went up and got it. There was good coverage, double coverage on him, and looked like from the far side he might have come down with it originally and got knocked out.
Very close to the southwest corner of the end zone.
Well, 9 seconds left here. You're going to have one play, whether it be across the middle or even into the end zone. You still have the timeout in your pocket to run out some points. So let's see if Geneseo can get a touchdown here.
Rivera and Peters come out left. Major Kurth goes to the right side. One back in the backfield is Root, right behind Glazier. He's going to sprint out to throw the ball. Looks down the middle of the field. Down inside the 5. Going to be a first down. They'll stop the clock with 4 seconds left.
Well, it looks like it's
Geneseo.
About at the 1 or 2 yard line, John, and it's a first down, 4 seconds left, and they used their last timeout. And I think right now Coach Johnson knows he's got to get the momentum back here and go for the touchdown.
They got to dig down deep right now, Josh. It's a big play.
Great job by this offensive line of keeping Kyle Glazier the pressure off him and allowing him to throw the ball. And they've done a nice job with under 2 minutes of running this offense.
Russell on the reception that play. Moves the ball down the 2 yard line. It'll 16-0. Johnsburg on top of Geneseo here with 4 seconds left in the first half. Geneseo on a very nice drive here has the ball on the 2 yard line now. No timeouts left. 4 seconds left on the clock. Geneseo's offensive line has to hunker down this time. Balanced line. Root the fullback right behind Glazier, the quarterback. Wingback goes in motion. Glazier's going to keep the ball. Don't know if he's going to get in close. No indication yet by anybody.
They stopped him.
No touchdown. Glazier on the keeper on the option, ducks it up and does not get the touchdown right before halftime. So at the end of the first half here in this first round playoff game in Class 5A, it's the Johnsburg Skyhawks 16, Geneseo 0.
Stitches create your ideas. All in Stitches specializes in custom embroidery and screen printing. Our showroom is stocked with so many garments and gift ideas, like the Cozy Sack. Cozy Sacks are perfect for sports fans to wrap up in during that chilly game. They come in many colors and can be easily decorated with your school's name. Come in today and let us help you create that one-of-a-kind look using today's technology and thousands of stock designs. We can create nearly anything you can imagine at All in Stitches, 100 East Main Street in Geneseo.
When you're remodeling or building, you've got to make the trip to Chicago. Chicago Street Decorating Center in Geneseo. Chicago Street Decorating Center is a complete full-service design center featuring all of your decorating needs from floor to ceiling. And Chicago Street Decorating Center has an outstanding staff with innovative designers to help coordinate flooring, walls, cabinetry, window treatments, and more. For any room in your home, make the trip to Chicago. Chicago Street Decorating Center in Geneseo.
You think I'm scared of the dark? Some spiders. I'm an expert here to keep you toasty. Do you think that litter box gets to me? A tad.
For unmatched expertise, Carrier stands alone.
That's nice.
In fact, the most energy-efficient furnace and our expertise makes Carrier trusted in more homes than any other brand.
Okay. Who touched me?
Carrier, turn to the experts.
Geneseo Telephone Company employs committed professionals with solid telecommunications backgrounds. Our installers provide extreme internet speed without complicated installation and offer knowledgeable local technical support. Our customer service specialists evaluate your calling needs and offer face-to-face long-distance comparisons. We're a small company with big city technology. Our state-of-the-art switching equipment provides the latest in telecommunication services. Geneseo Telephone Company, a network of people connecting our communities to the future.
IDC Tech Center offers a full line of pre-built and custom-built computers, accessories, a variety of classes, and more. But most of all, they offer the type of service you can't get from larger retail stores. Our professional, local staff will listen, answer your questions, and offer suggestions on what will work best for you. They'll custom-build a system with exactly what you need and even install it. What makes IDC different from other computer retailers? It's the service after the sale. Local service from local people. IDC Tech Center, offering service from our store to your door.
As we get set to start this second half, I am John Rowley along with Josh Pierce. We have 12 minutes on the clock here in this third quarter, getting set to start this second half of this Class 5A first round playoff game. Geneseo down by the score of 16-0, but will receive the opening kickoff here to start the second half. Back deep is Cuban for Geneseo. End over end kick. That's going to bounce at about the 5 and roll into the end zone. And Geneseo will bring the ball out to the 20-yard line to start their first opening series of this second half.
Well, let's go, Geneseo. This is where you started that last drive at your own 20 here. It's a chance to come out here and make a statement, and I know Coach Johnson wants to do exactly that. And let's face it, at 16-0, you got to cut this to a one-score deficit here to make this a ball game.
So we'll set them as they break the huddle. Dornfeld will start at center. They'll be flanked by Brooks and Hull. The tackles will be Talbot along with Paradiso. Tight formation. Paxton at one end, number 35. And Rivera on the right side. Going to give the ball this time to fullback up the middle. Gets big yards that time. Give him 7-8 yards by route to fullback up the middle. Nice seam that time.
Well, we saw a little bit of that at the end of the first half. They spread it out there and they were passing a lot, and Tyler Root was able to gash him for a couple big first downs. And right now they come out the second half much like the same. They used the fullback right up the middle, and he was able to get 8 yards. And Geneseo's got to come fired out. This offensive line's got to dominate, and you got to get points on the board.
Establish that fullback. Second and 3, let's call it. Just underway here in the second half. Wingback comes in motion. Counter play this time goes Root, number 34. He's rumbling. He's still on his feet, still looking for a seam. On his feet, close to 45, 47, 48 yard line goes Root, the fullback, number 34. That was like a 35 right over the back of the center. He had to pick and choose, and he did the best of it to pick up that first down and move the ball out to the 48-yard line.
Nice job by the fullback, that keeping those legs driving. And when you keep the legs driving, you make people miss, and they're trying to arm tackle Tyler Root, and it's going to take more than arm tackle to bring him down. And that time it was a gain of about 15, 16 yards. Going to set up first down here about midfield of Geneseo's opening drive of the second half, looking to make a statement here.
It'll be first and 10 from the 48-yard line of Geneseo. Tight formation, wingback goes to motion. Russell going to give the ball to big fullback again. 34, pound forward, gets it into Johnsburg territory down to the 48-yard line as he takes 5 guys to bring the junior down.
Well, I think Coach Johnson realized he's got a man on a mission there, and that's 34, Tyler Root. He's been the workhorse already, 3 straight plays and about 35 yards for Tyler Root, and going to bring up second and 7 from about the 49-yard line as Geneseo gets into their territory here. 10:37 in the third, counting down. Geneseo trailing 16-0.
Break the huddle. Major Kurtz goes wide to the right side. Talbot to tackle on the same side with Paradiso and Hall over there with him. Wingback goes in motion. Second man's going to get the ball once again. Goes Russell. He's going to be knocked for a loss of about 3 on the play. Nothing going that side. We went strong right side, tackle over, but still couldn't stop the penetration of the Skyhawks defense.
Yeah, they got good penetration there on that right side of the line, and they didn't fall for the fullback going up the middle that time. They waited for the second guy through, and they were able to jump on him and lost a couple yards. It's going to bring up third and about 8 or 9 yards here at midfield, and Geneseo needs a chance to convert this to keep this drive going.
Balanced formation this time by Geneseo as they break the huddle. Glazier looks them over, double wing set. Gives the ball crossbuck action this time. Goes Russell with a carry. Number 23, Ray Breaker in the free. He's going to go. He's over the 30. He's over the 20. He's down to the 10, 5. Touchdown, Geneseo. Russell from 51 yards out takes the ball up the right side and scampers to the end zone.
No flags, that's the key. No flags. Touchdown, Geneseo, and that's what we talked about coming out here. I didn't think they'd do it this quick, but we'll take it. And finally, we get to hear some fireworks, John. And Geneseo, hopefully these fireworks will wake up these fans and this team, and we got ourselves a second half.
So we put a mark on the board early here in the second half to make the score 16-6. Johnsburg still on top. Geneseo unsure if they're going to go for 2 or go for the kick the extra point.
Just a misdirection there again. We saw that they were keying on the second man through, but they went left this time and then came back right, and they flowed on him, and they didn't contain their outside of the Geneseo. Did a nice job of creating a hole and then blocking downfield, and that sprung him, and that was a nice touchdown run there by Russell.
We will come line of scrimmage. We'll go for 2 here in the situation, down by the score 16-6 early on second half. Wingback goes in motion, gives the ball crossbuck action to backfield, and he's clothesline there on the attempt. Peters gets clotheslined by number 77 and brought down. Jason Kelly on the tackle, 260 pounds, 6'3", brings him to the ground with one arm across the chops. But Geneseo does put a mark on the board to make the score 16-6 here early on in the second half.
La Roma's Pizza be the first caller to La Roma's every time Geneseo scores and win a free 2-topping large pizza. Must redeem within 1 week for radio listeners only. Well, that's just what we talked about, John, coming out here and making a statement. Could have used that 2-point conversion, but at any rate, we finally got some points on the board, and now it's a chance for this defense to make a statement of their own by shutting down this offense.
5-play, 80-yard drive for Geneseo, 2 minutes and 22 seconds to open up this second half. 50-yard touchdown run by Russell. 2-point conversion attempt was no good to make the score 16-6. Johnsburg. Now,
that 2-point conversion, it looked like Peters wasn't ready to be ready for the contact. Looked like he thought he was going to get around him, and he got caught there and kind of knocked him off balance, and that's why he came up short. But at any rate, Geneseo gets their first score of the game, and the key there was no penalties in that opening drive, which led to a touchdown.
So Tierman has it teed up, taking into a stiff breeze at their face. Has it set on the left hash mark as they go from the north to the south here at Geneseo. Steps himself back, looks to kick this thing, kind of pushes it up in the air, very high. Geneseo's defense is looking for this one, and hits the receiver just as he catches that ball.
Looked like maybe a fair catch. It looked like
I didn't see it.
He did it very low. You're supposed to put it up above your shoulders, and he kind of did it like
you could almost. Yeah, it's got to be above his waist, I think.
Yeah, you could almost act like he was saying get away from it, and Geneseo probably going to get away with the break there. But at any rate, they're going to take over the ball. Johnsburg at their own 30-yard line here at their first possession of the second half.
My only thought is it has to be either above his waist or above his shoulder, but either way, it seemed like it was way below his waist even on that call. So Johnsburg will take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line. Geneseo's defense needs to come to play here. There's 9:36 left on the clock here in this third quarter. Geneseo's down by 10, 16-6. Wide receivers aplenty come out to the right side of their offense. 3 receivers for Johnsburg near side, the 2 at the top of the left side of their offense. Quarterback drop, ball goes to the quarterback's hands as he looks to fall on it, and he's brought down at about the 10. Right, no, that's inside the 10. That's about the 5-yard line is where he will be brought down as the snap goes right through the quarterback's hands and slides back to about the 8, and the quarterback just picks up and gets tackled right there by Paradiso.
Well, we mentioned that first half. He bobbled it a couple of times, and Geneseo wasn't able to wrap him up, and he was able to get free and make a completion. But you're looking at a loss of 5, 10, about 30, almost 30 yards, John, and it's going to bring up 2nd down and 32, and that's a great position to be in. I don't care who you are if you're throwing the ball. It's 2nd down and 32, and a chance for Geneseo's defense to get this offense off the board.
Here we go. Roseman comes out wide, big tight end, 6'1", 200 pounds, sets himself out here. Shotgun formation, one back in the backfield behind the quarterback. Going to give it. Quarterback's going to keep the ball, looking to sprint out. No pressure, going to be pressured downfield. They're looking to throw the ball. He's going to be caught downfield. Incomplete. Nice play that time by Peters at the 20-yard line.
Well, the alarm clock must have went off for this defense, John, because this second half has been a totally different way here. This defense has come out. They've got the snap over the quarterback's head, which imagine to a loss of 30 yards, and that time a nice job of the secondary of staying with their receivers and giving them nothing to throw to. And
that's exactly what happened there, because he had plenty of time to let go of that ball, and when he did, Peters made a nice defensive play of knocking the ball out of bounds. So Just hate to give that quarterback that much time to set his feet and look around.
Now you're looking at a 3rd down and long here, and a chance for Geneseo to pin their ears back and maybe get a sack here.
And watch that screen play. Brooks in the middle of the defense now at the nose guard position. He's flanked by Powell and Kernan at the end positions. Linebackers walk around, walk up, back up. Shotgun formation, drop back to pass, looking to throw the ball downfield. The ball goes way deep this time, and Cuban on the coverage, and incomplete, overthrown. Geneseo defender Kurt Cuban played a nice position that time. They tried to match up their tall receiver at 6'8" against Cuban, our sophomore, number 16, who goes 5'9", and Cuban just played his position properly and did not let he played the ball all the way, didn't play the player, and overthrown, incomplete. It'll be a 4th down.
Excellent job by Cuban to recognize him playing, like you said, playing the ball and not the receiver. He's given up probably a good 8 inches, 8 to 10 inches there.
He's given up almost a foot.
And it almost looked like the receiver pulled his face mask down when he came to the ground, and Cuban a little short to getting up. But at any rate, defense holds here, and we're going to get a punt, and we're looking at a different half here for Geneseo football.
I'd say in this case, we don't even put a defender back. Glazier stands back at his 38-yard line. Punts up. And Glazier just going to let the ball hit the ground and roll. Is it going to hit the 50-yard line and roll dead at about the 46-yard line of Geneseo? That's a good exchange there. We'll take that ball every day right there. Here comes the offense of Geneseo, 1st and 10 from their own 46-yard line for their 2nd possession of this second half.
Well, Geneseo's offense is the only enemy tonight's been has been the yellow flag. They haven't really been stopped other than ran out of time there towards the end of the 1st half, and now a chance to make this a real ball game and Geneseo being aggressive. And Kyle Glazier, nice kick there by Johnsburg, did a nice job of just making sure that no mistakes were made, and Geneseo's going to take over possession on their own 46-yard line.
Tight formation for Geneseo. Glazier brings them up 1st and 10. Going to give the ball cross-buck action once again. Russell with the carry, 23, looking around to get around the corner again. Goes, oh, just about broke it again. Gets a 1st down as he goes down the right sideline for Geneseo. Last play, they scored in that play. This time, just 1/2 a step, and he was gone again.
Well, that's just your misdirection. You fake like you're coming to the left side, and then you go to the right. And right now, Johnsburg's having a tough time defending that and recognizing which way the ball's going. And when you start pursuing right, it's hard to come back left. And right now, Geneseo's got the ball at the Johnsburg 41-yard line here, looking to take their second possession here for a score.
8:17 left in this 3rd quarter. Geneseo's down by 10. Paxton sets himself tight on the left side. Under center goes Glazier. Going to give the ball that fullback once again. 34 with a carry. Picks up a nice gain that time. Let's give him 4 yards on the carry.
Just a quick hit there to the right side of Tyler Root, and like we talked about earlier this half, he's really getting those legs driving, and good things happen when you get those legs driving. He was able to pick up 4, almost 5 yards, going to bring up 2nd and about 6, and right now that offensive line of Geneseo is starting to take over this game.
Really working the right side of our offensive line right now. Over on that side is Paradiso along with Hall. The left side is Brooks along with Talbot. This time Talbot will jump to the right side. He'll overload, tackle over to the right side. Wing back on this near side. On the left side is Russell. He goes in motion. Going to give the ball to fullback up the middle. Goes Root. He's plowing forward for some yards that time. He's going to be a 3rd and short for the Leafs.
Well, Geneseo's offensive line really established themselves. We saw this. We saw a lot of it in the 1st half, John. It's just penalties backed them up and forced them into situations they didn't want to be in. And right now, Geneseo's got a little of this momentum back. Going to bring up 3rd and 2 at the Johnsburg 33-yard line, and chance for Geneseo to keep this drive alive here with the big surge.
Right hash mark for the Leafs. Major Kerr's going to save himself wide to the right side. Wing back near side, Russell, which to the left side. Glazier looks him over. Going to give the ball to fullback, number 34. 1st down by Geneseo. Gets it inside the 30-yard line. Down to about the 28 as he picked up the 1st down, plus about 2 or 3 after that. 1st down, Maple Leafs.
Well, this is classic Geneseo drive. Pound it at you right up the middle, and then when you think we're coming up the middle, we go outside, and we got the touchdown outside with Russell, and this drive we're going up the middle, so you wait for the outside play to come around, and right now there's not a whole lot of excitement there on the Johnsburg's defense. They kind of are looking over at the sideline wondering what's going on. And
that's a big fella there in the middle of their defense. Kelly, 6'3", 260, right in the middle, number 77. Dornfeld's got to handle him up front. 1st and 10 Leafs. Once again, crossbuck action in the back. This time it goes Powell with the carry, Peters with the carry, fighting for yards. Gets out close to the 22-yard line that time. Goes Peters. Didn't think he had much going to start with, but he broke it open to the outside and picked up, let's call it maybe 7 yards on the carry, maybe even 8 yards. Let's call it 7 yards.
Well,
on the carry.
You're seeing a little urgency out of this Geneseo offense. They're running with a little authority now, and there's a saying, running downhill, and that's what they're doing right now. They're creating their own plays. This offensive line's blowing people away, and Geneseo's got to do a nice job here at converting.
16-6, Geneseo down by 10. Give the ball to fullback once again. Nice hold that time by Root. Tyler Root, number 34, still fighting inside the 5-yard line. Near the goal line goes Root. Excuse me, about the 6-yard line.
That's Geneseo football there, a little cross action, and he got a nice block up there in the middle. And
they're giving Brooks a nice little hit in the head there. They know that he made the hole for him. Has to be him and Dornfield on that left side and right in the middle as that fullback takes it right up the middle of the 5 hole. Picks up nice yardage. It'll be first and goal from the 6.
Yeah, 6-yard line here, a chance to really make another statement. Geneseo's offensive line starting to dominate this game, and right now points on the board are huge, and let's see what Geneseo can do here, first and goal.
Tight formation, balanced line, wingback comes in motion. Gonna get the ball cross-buck action. Russell's gonna get outside looking for the corner. Touchdown, Geneseo.
Well, like we talked about, it's a tale of two halves. In this half, it's Geneseo, and right now, Geneseo's offense is dominating them.
There's a lot of offense out there for Johnsburg getting this game, I'll tell you that right now, but certainly Geneseo starting to click a little bit, starting to play some playoff football here at Geneseo. Touchdown, Geneseo. Russell from 6 yards out. We'll come on and we'll kick it this time. Timmerman will come out and handle the kicking chores. The score is 16-12. Johnsburg still on top of the Leafs. Rivera be on the hold. Major Kurth on the snap. Get this game down to a 3-point game if we can make it here. Snap's good, kicks up. That's going to be good by Timmerman to make the score 16-13. Johnsburg still on top by 3. As you hear the fireworks go off in the background here at Geneseo.
Once again, La Roma's Pizza. Be the first caller to La Roma's every time Geneseo scores and win a free 2-topping large pizza. Must redeem with 1 week for radio listeners only. We were worried that La Roma's wasn't going to get too many calls today, but they've got 2 here in the second half with 5:31 left. Geneseo trailing by a field goal, 16-13, and boy, what a statement this offense has come out and ran.
That was a 7-play drive, 54 yards, each up 2 minutes and 53 seconds to this third quarter. TD run of 6 yards by Russell. PAT was good by Timmerman to make the score 16-13. Johnsburg still on top of the Maple Leafs. So certainly we've seen a little bit of momentum change here in this second half so far.
We talked about it in the first half. They moved the ball up and down the field, but they got no points for it. In this half, we've seen them do the same thing, and this time they got a big play with no penalty, and they've been able to put 13 quick points on the board. Like you mentioned, they are down, so you still got to play aggressive, and you got to get this quarterback off this field.
The question has came up, is La Roma's open right now?
Maybe that's why we held off till the second half to score, John. Maybe they don't open until like 2.
All right, here we go. Timmerman has it teed up. A little bit of a breeze at his face as he goes to kick the ball. Once again, pots it straight up in the air. That might be a live ball. That is a live ball. And Geneseo can get that ball if they can fall on it. And they did get it off the sideline right in front of the Geneseo bench. They caught the ball. Once again, Timmerman is skillfully away. He can pop that ball straight up in the air. It comes down. He had 3 linemen just of the front line of Johnsburg standing there looking at the ball. I think it was Munson maybe. They got that ball right along the sideline before it went out of bounds. Hit the ground, bounced right in our hand. Well, and luckily we weren't able to catch it in the air.
It's much like an onside kick, except they kick it straight up.
To Geneseo. Now they make the indication it is Geneseo's ball.
To the far side, and like we mentioned, after 10 yards, that's a live ball, regardless if anybody touches it. And one thing you do when you kick to those front guys up front that never see the ball, they're not sure what to do with it. And they were able. You can fair catch that, but when they don't know what's going on and they don't see that play very often, they just let the ball drop. And Geneseo did a nice job pouncing it. And here they go again.
First and 10, Geneseo from the Johnsburg 41-yard line. Double wing set, balance line in front of Glazier, the quarterback. Wingback comes in motion, getting the ball to fight Tyler Root, number 34. He may go. He gets tackled at the 25. He picks up a solid 15 yards in the carry. Does the junior fullback, number 34, Tyler Root.
Well, Tyler Root, the workhorse this second half. Russell's got the touchdowns on the outside, but doing the dirty work's Tyler Root up the middle. And that time he gashed him again for about a 15, 16-yard gain. And now it's first down, Geneseo at the Johnsburg 25-yard line, looking to take a lead here with this drive. 5:20 counting down here in the third. Boy, what a tale of two halves.
Up we come, first and 10 from the 25-yard line. You're exactly right there, Josh. Tight formation for the Leafs. Double wing set. Balance line in front. Now wingback comes in motion, gives the ball to fullback up the middle. He's still fighting for yards, picks up, he's got 5 guys on him. They don't blow the whistle. They're taking some liberties with him, but he still picks up maybe a half a yard on the carry. Goes Root off the left side that time.
Well, that's what Geneseo will do to you. They'll bang you up the middle like you talked about earlier, establish that fullback. That's what they're doing, and Tyler Root's doing a real good job of doing that. And you saw that time he had about 11 guys tackling him, and what that's going to do is going to set up the outside play to Russell again when they converge in the middle here. It's going to bring second down in about almost 10 yards. He was only able to gain about a half yard on that.
So up they come. Dornfeld brings them up. 2nd and 10. Set themselves. Tight formation. Wingback comes in motion. Crossbuck action. Once again, this time goes Russell, still on his feet. Going to fight for it for yards. Gets over the 20-yard line, down about the 18. He'll make it about a 3rd and 4 for the Leafs.
Well, once again, that's just, you know, you fake up the middle like they've been doing with Root, and he's been averaging almost 10 yards a crack this half, and they converge on them. You give him to the second man, which is Russell, and he's got a decision to make whether to take that outside or cut it in, but he's getting 5 yards before he's even got to make that decision.
So it's 3rd and 5. Big play here. Ball sets on the 20-yard line of Johnsburg. Geneseo's down by the score of 16-13 with 3:54 left in this 3rd quarter. Major Kurth goes wide to the right side. 2 backs in the backfield, wing back left side for Geneseo. Long count by Glazier, the quarterback. Nice, sets him in motion. Gives the ball to fullback. He runs by the pursuit. Root up the middle. 1st down, Geneseo. Inside the 15-yard line, down to the 13.
Well, this is just Geneseo football. This is what we do. We line up and we beat the guy in front of us. And right now, Geneseo's offensive line's doing a great job of surging, and he's getting 5 yards before he even makes initial contact.
What they saw that time, we knew, or coach in the paper said that they will do a lot of stunts, or a lot of pressure up front through stunning. That time they stunted right by the ball carrier.
Well, it'll make or break you if you do that. You can get burned, or you can make a big play.
1st and 10 at the 12-yard line for the Leafs. Geneseo goes in motion, no call that time on the carry. Once again, Root gets it down to the 10-yard line, give him 2 on the carry.
Well, that's what you have to do. You got to keep this defensive honest, like you talked about, like we just talked about earlier. You got to establish that fullback, and you got to keep going to him. And right now, Tyler Root, the workhorse, I'm sure he's getting a little winded, but that end zone can sure give you a lot of energy when you're trailing by 3.
You don't get that tired when you're carrying the ball and you're a junior in high school. You want the ball every play you can get it. Peters comes out of his stance in the wingback position that time in motion, twisted his ankle as he limped back to the huddle. It looks like he'll shake it off. They'll only come back for the next play. Let's call it 2nd and 8 for the Leafs. 2:42 left in this 3rd quarter. Geneseo down by 3, 60-3, but inside the 10-yard line. Give the ball once again, this time to Root, number 34, fighting for yards. Nothing going that time. As in the middle of the field, Root gets stuck pretty good. They'll bring up a 3rd and probably 8 for the Leafs.
Well, one thing we saw in 3 straight plays, you haven't tried to go outside again. They went to the well again, right up the middle, and Johnsburg doing a nice job of stuffing that middle, and that's what they're trying to do, is prevent that fullback from establishing himself up the middle like he has been all game. It's going to bring up 3rd and about a long 8 here on the Johnsburg 12-yard line.
Major Kurth goes wide right. Overload, tackled over to the right side of the offense for Geneseo. Talbot sets himself that side. Drops back to pass, looking to throw the ball. Incomplete. Out near the goal line to Major Kurth. Incomplete. Will bring up a 4th down for Geneseo.
Well, that time he tried the quick out pattern, and defender did a nice job of jumping the route, and we saw that earlier with Cuban. He tried to do that, and that shows you what happens. If you get it, you're successful. If you don't, you're looking at a touchdown, and that time he did a nice job of jumping. It's going to force Geneseo into a tying field goal attempt here.
They'll set the tee at the 17-yard line. It'll be a 27-yard field goal attempt by Timmerman, number 9.
Into the wind here.
The junior under the hold of Rivera. Snaps a little low. Kicks up, and good by Timmerman to make it to tie game 16-16. Now we got a ball game.
Well, it's 0-0 now with the minute 51. It was 16-0 here at halftime, a little over 10 minutes ago, and Geneseo's fought their way back, and right now Johnsburg's wondering what just hit them here in the second half, and that was the Geneseo Green Machine.
Well, they'll be ready for that kickoff this time. We pop it straight up in the air to them. Let's see what we have in the bag this time for Timmerman, our kicker. We've talked about it all year, how Timmerman, Andrew Timmerman, the junior, from what we understand, is able to put that ball about anywhere he wants to. Do you want a 9-iron? You want it popped up nowhere? You pitch your wedge? You want me to drive it deep? Where do you want me to put it at? He's able to do that and practices that frequently from what we've been told. So I'll be interested to see what they'll do this time. They've gone to the well twice now, that same area with a high pop-up, going about
Well,
5 yards behind the front line of blockers for Johnsburg. We'll see what they do this time.
It is a great weapon to have, and I don't know if we mentioned it, but Geneseo's going against the wind this whole quarter, and they've almost ate up the whole quarter, so I'm sure that's why he's popping this up, because of the wind. 8
plays, 40 yards on that drive for Geneseo. 24-yard field goal by Timmerman. Make the score 16-16. We ate up 3 minutes and 40 seconds of that third quarter. So Timmerman once again has it teed up, kicking into the wind. Left hash mark as he approaches the ball. Here going from the north to the south. This time he's going to, once again, he pops it up. That's going to have a hole over that right side. Going to be fielded down around the 15-yard line. Flags all over the field this time. And brought down there on the tackle, number 19 on the tackle for Geneseo. That time, Caleb Robertson, I believe, was the number. And another flag thrown on the field, or just moving their flag maybe.
That looks like probably a legal block in the back by there it is, by Johnsburg, and that's going to pin him back again deep here. And now it's a chance for Geneseo's defense. They got the snap over the head, which set up a third and really long last possession, which made him punt the ball and force him out of there. But Geneseo's defense got to step up here. We got a tie ball game, 16-16, minute 45 left in the third.
Exactly what you expect to see in a playoff game. Even the first round playoff game is a game nip and tuck like this, and teams that won a battle for their survival in this playoff.
Well, this is what it's all about, John. You got to, Coach Johnson mentioned, you got to get this quarterback off the field, and the defense does that, get the ball back. And right now, this offense of Geneseo's rolling. That's all they want's the ball. 1st
and 10 at the 12-yard line is Johnsburg at their own 12-yard line. Drops back to pass, looking to drop back to throw the ball. Ball's in the air this time, incompleted, and there's a flag on the play. And after the pass was let go, it's going to be called on Johnsburg by the indication of the players from the Johnsburg offensive line up front. Once again, Peters was in a good position that time to make the play, just threw the ball just over his head, outside of his reach. Illegal
blocking the back there.
Blocking the back by Johnsburg.
Yep, right there is probably, they chop blocked him, or they hit the defensive guy in the back, and that's going to negate a long gain here. Would have been a first down. This is much like we saw with Geneseo in the first half with their offense. Penalties will kill you, and right now they're going to back this Johnsburg team back up inside their 10-yard line.
This is almost a no-brainer. Why we even talk? We're going to take the penalty. It'll remain first down.
But that's one thing that you saw out here. You pin him back, and you got to get him off the field, and then he throws the ball for 25 yards.
What's all the discussion here with Kyle Glazer? I think the referees are confused what they're calling there.
Well, they're marching it off on Johnsburg, so that's
all we're worried about right now.
Yeah, that's what we want to see, and that's going to bring up.
Move it back to the 5-yard line, does it? Yeah. Right at the 5-yard line. It'll be inside the 5, more like the 3-yard line, isn't it, Josh?
I think they were a little confused on the half the distance to the goal thing there, and now it's going to set up a first down in almost a little over 15 yards. And once again, they're in a long situations. Geneseo secondary's got to step up.
Minute 36 left in this third quarter. Johnsburg, 1st and 20 is the call. Quarterback stands in his own end zone. Drops back to pass, sprints out to pass this time, pressure this time. Ball goes downfield, a big tight end and brought down. Just after he catches the ball, gets it back to the original. Well, it picks up about 10, 12 yards on the play.
Well, that time the Johnsburg receivers, what they're doing is they just go out and they sit down in the open gap there, and they get behind the linebackers in front of the secondary, and they just sit down and wait for the ball. And that time he did a nice job of completing it. But Geneseo's linebackers are either going to have to move back and recognize they're there, or get some more pressure on this quarterback.
1 minute left in this third quarter. Geneseo and Johnsburg tied at 16. Wide left, wide right. One back in the backfield, drop back to pass. Quarterback's looking downfield, puts the ball in the air over there in the far side and caught near the 40-yard line. In the seam between Cuban and Peters at the 40-yard line to be a first down for Johnsburg.
Well, right now the secondary once again is having a tough time recognizing. They're releasing their wide receivers to the secondary there and giving it to the safeties, and the safeties are having a tough time picking it up. And that time he threw across the field and was able to get a completion. And
we're almost into a cover 2. There's a void right there at that 20 to 25 yard range. There's a void right there in the defense in that cover 2. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line of Johnsburg with the ball. Tie game 16.
Ball.
Quarterback with the ball, still on his feet, going to be brought down and tries to hand it off, and tackled for a loss in a play that time by Peters that time, or no, it was Powell, I believe, got in there that time for the Leafs.
Powell and Cuban there, or Powell, and actually it was Number 31, which is Mason Kern, was able to get in there too. As we're seeing a lot of times, we saw him drop the snap a couple times in the first half, and Geneseo wasn't able to create a play off of it, and this time they got a sack, but once again, it moves them back, and they've been able to do 2 good plays and then let a first down come. So Geneseo's defense has got to get them off the field.
So at into 3 quarters of play here in this Class 5A first-round playoff game. The Johnsburg Skyhawks 16, the Green Machine 16. We'll be back after this.
This TV50 telecast is sponsored in part by B&B Lawn Equipment and Cyclery, Becker & Becker Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, Central Bank, Geneseo, Chicago Street Decorating Center, Eric Henderson and Greg Anderson of Country Insurance and Financial Services, Geneseo Dairy Queen, Tom and Doug Curran of Edward Jones, Geneseo Municipal Electric Utility, Farmers National Bank, Jenny Dogs, Chicago-style eatery, Geneseo Telephone Company, Goodrich Equipment Company, Hazelwood Homes, Hammond Henry Hospital, IDC Tech Center, Northside Rexall Drug, Protec Auto Body, Turpins of Geneseo, 100.5 FM WGRG. Please patronize these fine businesses and let them know you appreciate their support of this TV50 telecast.
Welcome back as we get ready to start this 4th quarter of action here at Geneseo. 16-16 going into the final stanza here in this Class 5A first-round playoff game.
Well, what a ball game
rushing
here.
the ball, Johnsburg minus 17 yards rushing the ball tonight, 180 yards through the air.
Well, it's 4th quarter, and right now it's 16-16, so it's a chance for Geneseo to make a play. There's going to be 2 or 3 big plays this quarter that's going to make the difference.
Ball's on Johnsburg, 37-yard line, 2nd and 13, 2nd and 14. Snap back to the quarterback, big pressure in the backfield, looking to get it back out in the backfield, and completed. No indication yet if he caught it or not. It must have been caught by the receiver out at the 47-yard line. We couldn't see it very good from our vantage point here.
He was running away from us.
Yeah, Geneseo players indicate incomplete, but must have been completed. The referee is right on top of it as he saw it from the Geneseo sideline. As we broadcast our game from the visitor sideline here at Geneseo, so we have a different perspective than what you see on our home stands during the days of the game. 3rd and 5 is a call.
Come on, defense.
Johnsburg with the ball at their own 47-yard line. 2 receivers out wide this near side. 2 at the top of the screen to the right side. Back in the backfield with the quarterback. The drop back to pass, looking for a screen play up the middle this time. Nice setup that time on the carry over the 50 down to the 49-yard line.
Well, Geneseo, they haven't recognized it all game, and they didn't do it that time again. And seems like every time they run it, it's a 3rd down, and it converts.
Yep.
They have to realize, the defensive line has to realize when they're getting through that easy, there's a reason for it.
Once we start getting a pressure on there, 2 or 3 plays in a row, and we really pin our ears back and putting pressure on, they'll come right back with that screen play.
Well, it's much like Geneseo does with their offense and going outside. They have to recognize that back guts loose, and the offensive line lets them go, and they got to create a play here.
3 receivers to the right side of the offense for Johnsburg, 2 near side. Back in the backfield, snap back, they're looking to throw the ball out wide, looking for a screen play out there. And number 5 with the carry, tackled over there by Glazier, short of the first down. Has a nice play to the running back out of the backfield, number 5, Blakovich. with the reception.
Well, once again, this quarterback's throwing all over the field. That time it was just a quick hit to the right side, which is almost like a wide receiver screen, and they were able to get about 9 yards on that. Now they're inside Geneseo's own territory at the Geneseo 39. Tie ball game here, 16-16, 10-20, counting down here in the fourth quarter.
Three receivers come near side. One of the receivers is the tight end. Number 86 would go 6'8". Quarterback's in the back. Field shotgun all by himself. Geneseo over the center, looking for pressure, gets it in, across the center it goes, and caught there by the receiver at the 20-yard line and brought down immediately by Cuban. It'll be 1st and 10, Johnsburg inside the 20 at about the 17-yard line.
Well, they're just playing pitch and catch with them. They just go down, both guys go down the middle, and they take a right turn right in the middle, and they run right across the middle. One guy goes about 10 yards, the other guy goes 20, and right now the quarterback can pick whichever one he wants because Geneseo's just sitting back and letting them catch the ball before they react, and they got to be aggressive here and make something happen.
10:01 left, the clock's on the move. It's inside 10 minutes now left in this fourth quarter. Tie game, 16-16. Three receivers to the right side. Peters, Verstrady, and Cuban on the coverage. There's 2 receivers on this left side. Quarterback in the backfield, shotgun by himself. Snaps back to him. Looks to throw the ball down the seam this time. On the catch that time, once again, Blackowicz. He'll be close to a first down as he receives it inside the 10-yard line.
Well, right now the secondary's back on their heels again. They're giving these receivers 5-10-yard cushions, and right now the quarterback here, number 1 for Johnsburg, is just
first down. Johnsburg
is scorching them. They got to be aggressive. They got to make a play. They're not. They're sitting back on their heels, and right now it's going to be 1st and goal inside Geneseo's 10-yard line, about the 8-yard line, and Geneseo's going to have to make a play here to keep them out of the end zone.
2 wideouts on each side. One back in the backfield is Decker, the fullback, number 20. Snap goes to the quarterback, fake handoff to the fullback. Quarterback sprints out right side, looking to throw the ball, still looking to throw the ball. He takes off, run the ball himself this time, and he's hit there right at the ground on the play. He's close inside the 5-yard line. There's a flag out deep here. Josh, did you see
That's
it?
Going to be holding. That's going to be holding on Johnsburg. They had the, looked like they had the end there on Geneseo, and he wouldn't let him go, but looks like Johnsburg's is clapping like it's in their favor.
Must be a second flag right there where the referees are standing also.
They're going to get a late hit on Geneseo. He looked like he was down on the ground, and somebody came up and just got a little too aggressive, and it's probably going to negate a hold call here against Johnsburg.
Now they've called me making barely holding on Johnsburg. Personal foul Geneseo.
That
now
looked
they'll
like
have to sort this out.
Unsportsmanlike conduct here against Geneseo. I don't know if they'll if this will just be a null play and we'll redo first down, or how they're going to work it.
They're sorting it out with Glazier up there right at the point of the last infraction, which is just inside the 5-yard line.
Boy, it's hard to see the unsportsmanlike conduct because he looked like he was kind of, I'm not sure a whistle was blown down there when they made that second hit on him. And in any case, the referee threw the handkerchief, and it's we'll wait for him.
So they're going to march off the penalty of
I think they'll
holding.
march off 10 yards for holding, then give them back 15, and then it'll be a first down, which would actually put him about the 5-yard line here.
I think you're exactly right there, Josh. The official has not set the ball back down the field as he's getting ready to turn around and walk back and march off the penalty against Geneseo.
Which would be a misconduct, would be a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down. It'll be half the distance, so it won't be the 5-yard line. It's going to be about the 9.
Mark it right at the 10-yard line.
Well, actually, that's all right because
you're right.
They're going to redo the down, and we're going to gain 2 yards, but we did get a good hit on the quarterback, so that's
there you go.
That's a plus.
So we'll call it 1st and goal from the 11-yard line for Johnsburg. 1st and goal from the 11 for Johnsburg after the exchange of penalties there. And Geneseo once again got to stand up here. 8:42 left. Clock's on the move here. Tie score 16-16. One back in the backfield, 3 receivers out to the left side, 1 to the right side. Quarterback looks him over. Snaps back to him, he fields it cleanly. Pressure in the backfield on him. Caught the ball and brought down at about the 5-yard line. Looks like Paxton along with Russell on the tackle.
Nice job by Paxton that time. He's your spy. He's spying the back coming out of the backfield. That time he did a nice job of hanging with him. Credit the secondary. They had everybody else pasted pretty good, and he went out to the right side to his back, and Paxton was there waiting for him, and it looked like a Maybe a gain of a couple, and that's it. Going to bring up 2nd and goal here from about the 7-yard line, 6-yard line.
7:56 left in this ball game. Tie score 16-16. Johnsburg threatening. Inside the 10, down to about the 6-yard line they go. Once again, they spread the field. 2 receivers each side, running back in the backfield along the quarterback. Snaps back to the quarterback, looking to throw the ball, puts the ball in the end zone. And incomplete, broke up by Cuban on the coverage. Number 16, the sophomore, knocks the pass away from the big receiver, number 86, which goes 6'8", over the top of Cuban, who stands at 5'8".
Well, Peters was out there to help him a little bit. Like you mentioned earlier, he's given up a foot, and that time he almost got the interception there. Looked like there in the corner,
he had 2 hands on it, didn't he?
At any rate, he knocked it down, and I'm really happy just to see an incomplete pass at this point in the juncture. And going to bring up 3rd and goal here. 7:33 left in the game. We're tied here at 16-16 in the 4th quarter.
The quarterback for Johnsburg is 20 of 30 today for 241 yards for Johnsburg. Wide receivers left and right once again. Empty backfield, just the quarterback in the shotgun formation. 3rd and goal from the 6. Geneseo's defense jumping around, looking to pick up a defender. Spot. Quarterback looks to throw. Getting some pressure in the backfield. He's going to be flushed out of the pocket this time. Short of the first. Fumbles the ball, and Geneseo recovers it in the end zone.
Touchback.
Geneseo recovered the fumble in the end zone as he gets tackled at the goal line. The ball is fumbled around, and it is a touchback. Indicates the touchback. Geneseo's ball at the 20-yard line with 7:26 left in this ball game.
Well, we said you had to be aggressive and you had to create a turnover, and good things happen when you get aggressive. And that time, Geneseo secondary finally did a nice job of containing the wideouts, and it forced him to run up in the pocket. And Geneseo did a nice job of polishing him off.
He must have been very close to the goal line when the tackle occurred, and he must have, as he got tackled, he fumbled the ball into the end zone. And Geneseo had 2 or 3 shots at actually recovering the ball. It must have laid loose longer than what we could tell here for the indecision of the officials to make the call, but Geneseo pounced on. I didn't pick up who recovered that fumble.
Look, Kyle Glazier come out of the pile there with it, and like you said, it doesn't matter what the call is. They gave us the ball, and now we're going to be
take over.
Yeah, you're exactly right. At our own 20 here, 7:26 counting down.
All right, we're going to have a long sustained drive here. 4 or 5 yards at a crack here. Glazier looks him over, tight formation. Peters goes in motion. Fullback's going to carry the ball once again. Goes route to fullback. The junior moves it out close to the 25-yard line. 24, give him 4 yards on the carry.
Well, Geneseo's offense is yet to be stopped this second half here. They got a field goal on when they were stopped, and they've really controlled the penalties, which shot them in the foot the first half. And right now, with 7 minutes almost left in this game in the 4th quarter, you'd like to see about a 6:55 drive here with a touchdown.
Maybe more than that even. All we need is a score here. Put it on the board. Double wing formation. Route to fullback behind Glazier, the quarterback. Tight formation. Crossbuck action in the backfield this time. Goes Russell with the carry. He's going to bring up a 3rd and 4 for the Leafs. Off the right side, nothing going that time for him big. As there was a seam to start with, they closed quickly as the linebackers from Johnsburg closed it up sharply. And clock's on the move with 6:38 left in the ball game.
So just a little misdirection there. That time Johnsburg did a nice job of sniffing it out and was able just to contain him to a couple of yards where they've been burned earlier. But it's going to bring up a big play here this game here. 6:25 counting down. It's going to bring up about 3rd and 5 from Geneseo's own 25-yard line.
Need some first downs here. Need to move the ball down the field here. This may be the last possession. We might get our hands on the ball. 6:15 left in the game. Wingback goes in motion, goes Peters. Going to go sweep play. He's got a block out in front of him, looking to seam. Going to get over the stripe, and they're going to mark him close to the first down. They're going to mark him right at that 30-yard line. I can't tell. We have to get right at that 30.
Measure.
If it goes over the stripe, we're good. First down, Geneseo.
A nice job of Peters of recognizing. He started to break it outside, and then he just decided to lower his head and bowl his way through. And like you mentioned, all he needed to do is get to that stripe there at the 30-yard line. He was able to do that. That's where the ball sits. First and 10, Geneseo.
Once again, there's a nice block out in front of him there, and I believe it was Russell. Once again, we've called his name for some nice blocks out front all day. First and 10 from our own 30-yard line. Geneseo's jumps formation as they set everybody in different spots. They overload the right side, or left side of the offense. Goes Paradiso. Gives the ball second man this time. On the carry goes Peters over the 35 to the 36-yard line. That's a solid run that time by Jeremy Peters on that left side.
Well,
we showed him exactly what we were going to do by changing our formation right at the time, right before the play was
well, we've mentioned it many games. You know what we're going to do, and you know what we're going to do, but can you stop it? And right now, Geneseo getting 5-6 yards of crack, and you're just waiting for that big play to come, and Geneseo is starting to really dominate this line of scrimmage and move this ball.
Rivera sets wide left this time. looking to throw the ball. Glazier can't get out of the pocket. He's brought down for a loss in the play. Looking to throw that ball that time. Didn't get back deep enough on his drop, and he was swallowed up by the defense.
Well, when you're averaging 5-6 yards a carry, you kind of question that call, and I think he wanted to go for the hit and try to catch him off guard. They were moving a lot of guys into the line of scrimmage, but now it puts you in a 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, and right now 4:49 counting down here in the 4th, tie ball game.
They put Russell at that wing and just put him down the seam that time, looking to get the ball to him. 3rd and 6, as you called. 4:40 left in the ball game. Two backs in the backfield with Glazier, wing back, looking for a sweep play near side. Got some blockers out in front of him. Russell fights for it, gets the first down, does Russell on the 2nd and 3rd effort, and a nice block by Paxton out front from the fullback slot.
You're exactly right.
Tight end spot that time.
Great block by Paxton, and you said 2nd, 3rd effort. He was initially stopped for the first down and kept his hand on the ground actually, which prevented his knee going down, and was able to stretch for a couple. And now you're looking at 1st and 10. Geneseo again on their 41-yard line. 4:24 counting down in the 4th. Tie ball game 16-16.
Up we come, ball's on the right hash mark, 42-yard line of Geneseo. Clock's on the move, 4:14 left in the ball game. No timeouts used by Geneseo in the second half. Crossbuck action in the backfield this time. Nothing going, nice block out front, still fighting for yards. Gets it over the 45, took some liberties with him, a little slow whistle, gets to the 46-yard line, gave him 6 yards, or 5 yards in the carry.
Once again, the blockers out front did a great job. A hole on that right side there, Paradiso, and there, Manny Rivera really creating a hole, and he had a gap there. It looked like he was going to get away, and they closed it in a hurry, but it was a gain of 5. And right now, Geneseo content to get 5-6 yards on the ground. 3:41 counting down here in the 4th.
And we'll be inside 3:30 on this ball snap. Ball's on the 46-yard line of Geneseo. 2nd and a long 5. Tight formation for the Leafs. Wingback goes to motion, gives it to the fullback up the middle. He finds a seam, hold the middle over the 40, down to the 39-yard line, goes Root down to Johnsburg's territory, and that's what you want to see right there. Move that ball down in that territory. Now you're in solid 4-down position now, no matter what your situation is.
Well, Geneseo still has 3 timeouts remaining, 3:19. The clock really not a factor here. All you need is a score to win the game. They're just moved it across midfield to Johnsburg's 40-yard line.
Not leave any time on the clock.
Exactly.
When they get the ball
I'd like to score with the 2nd left.
Let's just worry about getting a touchdown, and we'll go from there. Tight formation. Wingback right side is Peters. He goes in motion. Going to give the ball to Root once again, number 34, fighting for yards. Get him over the stripe, give him 1 yard on the carry to bring up a 2nd and 9 for the Leafs. Root's getting up a little slow that time, as he's been a workhorse here in this second half.
I'm sure he's closing in on 100 yards again, John. He's really ran the ball.
Root's 18 carries for 126 yards on the afternoon already. Is the junior. 2nd and 9 for the Leafs. 2:38 left on the clock here in this 4th quarter. Remember that weapon we got out there on the near sideline, number 9, the kicker. Over on the far side, I'm warming up. Major Kurth wide left this time. Wingback near side's Peters. Going to go sweep play this side. Got some blockers out front.
Nice block.
Blocked that time by Glazier. Keeps him alive. He picks up 3, maybe 4 in the play. Moves the ball to the 36-yard line. They'll bring up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 6 for the Leafs.
I didn't catch the number, but Johnsburg had a guy shoot in there, did a nice job to disrupt him. Looked like he was going to get him in the backfield for a loss.
The quarterback
Kyle
blocked.
did a nice job of sticking his shoulder into him and shooting him out. Instead of a loss, you're looking at a 3-yard gain, which is going to bring up about a 3rd and 6 here. Minute 57, we're under 2 minutes here in the 4th, tied 16-16.
Here we go. As you said, inside 2 minutes, 1:52 is on the clock. 3rd and 6 for the Leafs. Ball is on the 36-yard line of Johnsburg. Wingback comes in motion. Cross-buck action in the backfield, and flag is thrown. A nice hold that time. And Geneseo jump off sides, did they?
Yeah, it looked like he was moving there on the left side there. I think that's what they're going to get him for.
Comes deathly quiet. Illegal procedure, Geneseo.
Well, that's the penalties we talk about, you know, and put you in instead of being 3rd and 6, now you're going to look at about a 3rd and 11, and that's some mistakes that'll end a drive. And right now, Geneseo's offense got to overcome that. They got to realize this is probably the last time you're going to touch the ball of the game. And a nice surge here. They're obviously out of Timmerman's range here at the 41-yard line, but 1st down is all they got to think about. And you got to think probably 2 downs to do it.
Yep, so you're right.
Geneseo's got to come up, and they got to be aggressive, and they got to take this game right now.
Major Kurth goes wide left. Out joining him will be Peters. And on the wing on the same side will go Russell. Looking to throw the ball this time. Sprint out action right side. Glazier's going to be brought down for a sack at the 49-yard line.
Well, that's one thing he couldn't take. He needed to get rid of that ball to set up a 4th down. He took a sack, and Johnsburg did a nice job of spreading the ball out, and that's one thing a penalty will do. It puts you in a situation where you don't want to be in, and right now looks like Johnsburg's going to use a timeout with 1:10 here, and they're going to get this ball back.
I believe that's their first timeout used in the second half for Johnsburg. That'll leave them 2 timeouts remaining. It looks like we were sending the punt team on the field there to punt that ball away.
Well, now you're in a scary situation here. 4th down at midfield. You obviously got to punt this ball and give them a long field to work with.
Yes.
But right now, this quarterback's had really good success throwing this ball all around the field, and Geneseo's got to really get their secondary together and realize that you can give up a couple short plays, but you can't give up a long one here. Tied 16-16, and Geneseo's offense, I'm sure, would love to get this ball back if they had a chance.
Once again, that motion call really hurt us here in this drive. Geneseo will come from the sideline, go directly to the line of scrimmage in the punt formation. Russell, the punter for Geneseo, have a nice breeze at his back, get the ball up the field, and also that sun will be right in the eyes of the return man. Return man number 9, Letzer, stands back at his 10-yard line. Russell, the punter, nice snap, nice high kick going to the right side. Munson's all over that one down there near the 10-yard line, and they'll let it bounce and roll. And they'll roll inside the 5 down to about the 2-yard line, 3-yard line. That's where Kevin Powell and Manny Rivera knock it down with 58 seconds left in this Class 5A first-round playoff game. Johnsburg comes in the field with that 58 seconds left and the length of the field to go.
Geneseo's punter did a nice job, Russell, there, and the coverage was perfect. A nice high kick, let the bounce go, and you can't ask for better field position for this Geneseo defense as they pin him back inside the 5-yard line, and perfect time to snap him overhead for a safety here, John, and we walk out of here.
So we've seen the quarterback for Johnsburg go up under center 1 time this afternoon. This time he will be taking the snap from the shotgun, I'm sure, and he'll be standing halfway deep in his 2 or 3 strides into his own end zone when he takes this snap in the shotgun formation for Johnsburg. Tie game 16-16, 58 seconds left in the clock in this 4th quarter. 3 receivers come wide to this right side of Geneseo's defense. 2 at the top of the screen. No backs in the backfield. Shotgun formation for Johnsburg. Snap goes back, a low snap this time. Ball goes across the middle to the 220 on the reception. Gets the ball out to the 20-yard line. Nice pass that time by Johnsburg. It'll be 1st and 10 as they move the sticks out to the 20-yard line with 52 seconds left on the clock.
They're motioning to that right side there on their big receiver, 6'8", to the right side.
Shotgun formation, quarterback drops back to pass the ball once again, getting flushed out of the pocket once again, looking to throw the ball, looks to throw the ball long this time. Cuban on the coverage this time, and caught. Cuban just out-jumped that time. Of course, he's given up a foot to the receiver. Reception at the 42-yard line of Geneseo with 39 seconds left on the clock.
Johnsburg still got 2 timeouts on the clock. They elect not to use them. They're just throwing a pitch and catch out to their big receiver, and that time he went out and got it.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from Geneseo 42-yard line. 39 seconds left in the clock. Tie ball game, 16-16. Quarterback stands in the backfield by himself in the shotgun at his 49-yard line. Drops back to pass, throws the ball over the middle, and completed to number 5 and brought down by Glazier at the 25-yard line.
Good hit by Glazier there, but it's just pitch and catch up the middle again. We've seen it all the way through this first half. We're seeing it in the second. They're in hurry up again. 29 seconds left on the clock.
Ball sits right on the 25-yard line. Sets the chain. Quarterback in the backfield by himself. 5 receivers, the wideouts. Geneseo with a 3-man rush. On the pressure, flag on the play that time. Ball goes across the field and caught by number 5 and knocked out of bounds at about the 15. But there is a flag on the play on the line of scrimmage.
Hopefully that guy on the wideout there left a little early, which is going to give him a motion call, which will bring this back.
And the indication, the referee in the white hat, illegal shift by Johnsburg.
Well, right now that's
nothing. Motion will knock off 5 yards from the point where the ball was snapped from, but it also ate up 9 seconds on the play.
You're exactly right. Johnsburg still got I believe 2 timeouts in their pocket with 20 seconds left here, but right now that's even the only thing that's been stopping this offense has been a flag here. Geneseo playing a soft coverage, it looks like, and they, other than that jump ball, they've been really working that middle. With 2 timeouts here, Geneseo's defense gonna have to step up here and make a stop.
So they'll march off 5 yards against to move the ball back to the 30-yard line. It'll be 1st and 15 for Johnsburg. 20 seconds left in the clock. A little bit of a breeze at their face, a pretty solid breeze actually. Now is player late to get on the field for Johnsburg.
Well, you'd love to see him use a timeout here.
As he sets himself out wide. Quarterback stands back at his 38-yard line. Ball's in the ground, picked up. Quarterback looks to throw the ball down. Deep it goes. On the coverage goes Cuban once again. Incomplete and overthrown. Cuban on the coverage once again. They're trying to get that matchup, and the clock goes down to 12 seconds.
Well, you mentioned it earlier. He's giving up a foot out there, and you just hold your breath when he lobs it out there. And right now, Cuban doing a nice job of battling with the big receiver there from Johnsburg. And this time, Cuban won the battle. Going to bring up second and about 15 here from the Geneseo 30-yard line. 12 seconds left to go in this play. So you're looking at only maybe a couple more plays, even though they have a timeout.
Maybe 2 plays.
One thing to mention, they never have attempted an extra point.
Everybody's on their feet now here at Geneseo. First round game, 16-16 is the score, 12 seconds left in the clock. Johnsburg with the ball on their own on Geneseo's 30-yard line. Quarterback drops back to pass. Looking for a receiver downfield. Once again, looking for the big fella down deep. That may be, it's almost intercepted. No! Just out of bounds. Cuban on the interception, but just toes were out of bounds. We had a nice vantage point of it from here looking out of the press box. His toes were just barely out of bounds, but a nice interception. And there's 6 seconds left on the clock.
Well, Johnsburg with 2 timeouts left, with 6 seconds. You're probably looking at the last play of the game, and we never saw him go for an extra point, so that makes you think their kicker isn't especially good. So I imagine you're going to see a jump ball in the end zone to the probably number 86, their big wideout, and hope he can get up and make a play. And Geneseo's got to knock this ball down here to force an overtime.
So we are down probably the final play of this regulation play here in this Class 5A first round game. Wide receivers come near side. There's 3 receivers on the coverage. Peters, Verstrady, and back deep is Russell. 2 receivers top to the right side. Quarterback gets the snap from the shotgun formation. Get pressure in the backfield. He just lost it towards the end zone. Down in the end zone, and it's incomplete. And that will do it for regulation. So at the end of regulation play here in this Class 5A first round game is Geneseo 16 and Johnsburg 16.
Stitches create your ideas. All in Stitches specializes in custom embroidery and screen printing. Our showroom is stocked with so many garments and gift ideas, like the Cozy Sack. Cozy Sacks are perfect for sports fans to wrap up in during that chilly game. They come in many colors and can be easily decorated with your school's name. Come in today and let us help you create that one-of-a-kind look using today's technology and thousands of stock designs. We can create nearly anything you can imagine at All in Stitches, 100 East Main Street in Geneseo.
When you're remodeling or building, you've got to make the trip to Chicago. Chicago Street Decorating Center in Geneseo. Chicago Street Decorating Center is a complete full-service design center featuring all of your decorating needs from floor to ceiling. And Chicago Street Decorating Center has an outstanding staff with innovative designers to help coordinate flooring, walls, cabinetry, window treatments, and more. For any room in your home, make the trip to Chicago. Chicago Street Decorating Center in Geneseo.
You think I'm scared of the dark? Some spiders. I'm an expert here to keep you toasty. Do you think that litter box gets to me? A tad.
For unmatched expertise, Carrier stands alone.
That's nice.
In fact, the most energy-efficient furnace and our expertise makes Carrier trusted in more homes than any other brand.
Okay. Who touched me?
Carrier, turn to the experts.
Geneseo Telephone Company employs committed professionals with solid telecommunications backgrounds. Our installers provide extreme internet speed without complicated installation and offer knowledgeable local technical support. Our customer service specialists evaluate your calling needs and offer face-to-face long-distance comparisons. We're a small company with big city technology. Our state-of-the-art switching equipment provides the latest in telecommunication services. Geneseo Telephone Company, a network of people connecting our communities to the future.
IDC Tech Center offers a full line of pre-built and custom-built computers, accessories, a variety of classes, and more. But most of all, they offer the type of service you can't get from larger retail stores. Our professional, local staff will listen, answer your questions, and offer suggestions on what will work best for you. They'll custom-build a system with exactly what you need and even install it. What makes IDC different from other computer retailers? It's the service after the sale. Local service from local people. IDC Tech Center, offering service from our store to your door.
Welcome back. We get set to start this overtime period. Johnsburg's Skyhawks against the Geneseo Maple Leafs here in this Class 5A first round game. What you expect to see in the playoffs. Geneseo in the overtime have the ball first. They will go from the 10-yard line going towards the south end zone here at Geneseo. They have a little bit of a breeze in their face. First and 10 or first and goal from the 10. Nothing to do but score a touchdown here. If they do not score a touchdown, they'll turn around and have to play defense. Here we go. Tight formation for the Leafs. Fullback is Root. Motion in the backfield. Going to give the ball this time. This time to Russell. Nothing going that time as once again Peter slips on the turf as he starts to cut up the field to put a block up that lead blocker hole right behind Paradiso and Hall. So they'll bring up a second down and goal from the 10.
A game of nothing there. Johnsburg did a nice job. Like you mentioned, he slipped there on the trying to make his cut and didn't get the block he needed to spring him, and now it's going to bring up second and long. And this is a time in the field here, especially overtime. You can't make a mistake or have a penalty.
Up we come. Double wing set, balanced line. Right in the middle of the field, right at the 10-yard line. Second down and goal. Going to give the ball once again to Root right up the middle. Gets forward, still fighting with him. Gives him about 2 yards in the play. It'll bring up a third and goal from the, looks like probably the 7-yard line.
Well, Johnsburg did a nice job of stuffing up that middle. They knew exactly what Geneseo was going to do. They're going to run it up the middle on them, and they did a nice job of creating a nice wall there so they couldn't get by. It's going to bring up third and goal here from the 6-yard line, and Geneseo has to put this ball in the end zone here to extend this overtime.
Yeah, I don't think a field goal will do it for us here. We need to put the ball in the end zone. Rivera goes out wide to the right side. Up they come, Hull, Paradiso, Dornfeld, Brooks, Talbot up front, along with Paxton.
They moved.
The illegal procedure is going to be a call. Another flag was thrown on the play. Did you catch the illegal procedure there yourself?
You moved there on the left-hand side there, and one thing we just talked about, mistakes and penalties will kill you in overtime when you only get 4 cracks at it. And now we're going to watch them march back 5 yards. It's going to bring up third and goal from about the 12, 13-yard line now.
So that would change the play you want to run here on a third down. And goal, as you said, probably from the 15-yard line. They'll mark it off. And 13-yard line, excuse me, yeah, 13-yard line will be the call. So it'll be third and goal from the 13 for the Leafs. In overtime here at Geneseo. Score 16-16.
That offensive line's got to come out fired up and dominate them here.
Up they come. 2 wide receivers out wide to the right side. Rivera along with Russell. Sprint out action the same side. Got good protection this time. Looking to throw the ball. Tucks it in himself. Number 10 falls forward to the 10-yard line, 5-yard line maybe that time. And goes Glazier, brings up a 4th down. And he may be inside the 5.
He looks like he's down to about the 2 or 3-yard line, Johnny. I know he crossed the 5 and dove where they mark him. They're going to mark him down at the 3-yard line, and now you got a decision here for Coach Johnson. You got 4th and 3 in one play to get it in, and looks like they're going to use a timeout and think about it.
So at a 4th and 3, you know, we've been controlling the line of scrimmage pretty good down the stretch there in the 3rd and 4th quarter, but the last part of that 4th quarter down in this last drive we had, we kind of stalled out as far as our offensive movement of the ball. And of course the penalty hurts it, but that's leaving a little hesitation in Coach Johnson's mind here as far as to go for it or to bring the kicking team on and try for 3.
You're exactly right. If you get 3 points, it forces them to get a touchdown to beat you. And if you get 0, then they can come back and just kick a field goal. But like we mentioned, we haven't seen them actually attempt even an extra point. They both went for 2-point conversions Johnsburg did there down on both their scores. So it's got a decision to make here, and this could very well tell the season here for Geneseo. We got 4th down and 3, and you got 1 play to stick it in the end zone, and Geneseo, I believe you have to put it in the end zone here.
Geneseo still on the sidelines. Johnsburg comes to the side. Coach Johnson, I like what I just saw on that far side. Coach Johnson, relatively young coach, calls on the knowledge and the help of some of the senior coaching staff over there. Dan Rogers and Coach Ron Clary on one knee, all three of them together going through this situation, what they want to call in this situation. This is a big play of the season. The last play of the season possibly for the offense. Rogers and Clary, along with Johnson on one knee over there, discussing what they want to do. And that time they bring Kyle Glazer into the mix. Geneseo calls a second timeout. They call back-to-back timeouts on this series of downs. So not sure what they want to do yet.
Very similar play to what we saw at the end of the first half, John, where they had it, there was only, I think, 6 seconds left on the clock with no timeouts. They used a timeout to stop it with 6 seconds, but they had no more timeouts, so it brought up, and Johnsburg was able to stop them there and not keep them out of the end zone. Here in overtime, much like the same situation, and Coach Johnson wants to make sure he's got the right play. That's why he used the second timeout.
Right, you're exactly right there, Josh. It's really was kind of an impressive scene over there to see the coaching staff down on one knee, just discussing the possibilities of what to do. The first thing I'm sure they probably discussed was, do you want to go for 3 or do you want to go for the end zone?
Well,
the touchdown.
With this offense of Johnsburg, I think you got to go for the touchdown.
I think you do too.
They're going to back you up, spread it out, and throw 4 times at the end zone. So you got to get 6 points out here.
All right, Geneseo breaks their huddle on the far sideline. He comes to the field. It is 4th and goal from the 3-yard line in overtime here at Geneseo. Major Kurtz comes out wide left. Paxton sets himself tight on the right side. Full house wishbone formation. Glazer looks him over. Gives the ball to the second man through this time. Goes Russell, and he's going to be close to the end zone. Several people indicate touchdown, but no call yet by the officials. And they deny the touchdown to Geneseo. They are short of the goal line. So Johnsburg now will take over on the 10-yard line with a chance to win this playoff game.
Well, that's what penalties will do. They back you up and they put you in situations you don't want to be. He looked like he had a nice surge, but he looked like he got his legs cut out from under him when he tried to go up the hole. And from our vantage point, it looked like he got a nice surge, but you can't see if he crossed the line, and the referees are right there. And Geneseo 4 plays and out and didn't get any points, and now Johnsburg's going to come in here with that passing offense, and all they need is to put points on the board, and they win this game here in overtime.
So our defense comes on the field. It's 1st and 10. Our 1st and goal from the 10-yard line for Johnsburg now at the south end zone here at Geneseo. Paradiso will meet the center at the nose guard position. He'll be flanked by Kernan along with Hull. 2 wide receivers each side for Johnsburg. 1 back in the backfield along with the quarterback. Shotgun formation, snaps back, fake handoff to the quarterback. Gonna go backside screen at number 20. Look for a little seam, gonna get close to the 10. He's gonna come short of the 10-yard line. No gain to play. Tackle that time by Russell along with Paxton.
Nice job defensively for Geneseo, recognizing that they've been burnt by the screen all game long, and that time they tried to set it up to the tailback there, number 20 on the left-hand side. And
he may have lost a yard.
Geneseo did a nice job of containing that, and you're exactly right. He got, if any,
maybe right back at the 10-yard line. It looks like
no
now
gain at all, if anything. So it's going to bring up 2nd goal here from the 10-yard line, and once again, all Johnsburg has to do is put the ball in the end zone, and they win the game.
2 receivers to the right side, 2 receivers to the left side. Quarterback in the backfield by himself, shotgun formation. Stands back at the 16-yard line to receive the snap. Snaps back, it's good. Quarterback gets some pressure, puts the ball across the middle, and incomplete right at the goal line. And it'll bring up a 3rd down. In goal from the 10 for Johnsburg.
Well, that's that crossing play across the middle. We've seen him complete all game long, and that time he threw it a little low on him and looked like he might have a chance at the ball, and it coughed out there at the last second there. And it's, once again, Geneseo lives on to see a 3rd and goal here. And right now they got to get pressure on this quarterback, because I'm not sure about the kicker here for Johnsburg. So you got to act like you got 2 more plays here to stuff them.
They do have a kicker on the sideline here, loosening up a little bit. His name's not on the program. 3rd and goal from the 10, overtime. Geneseo was denied on their first possession of overtime. This is the first possession for Johnsburg. Shotgun formation, no backs in the backfield. Quarterback drops back to pass, throws the ball deep. Incomplete in the end zone, brings up a 4th down for Johnsburg. The receiver right there had his hand on it, but 3 defenders knocked the ball loose on him just as the ball got there. They'll bring up a 4th down.
I couldn't see if it was Peters or Russell, but it looked like he had the ball in his hands, and somebody put a nice shoulder into him and popped it loose. And now you got a decision here for Johnsburg. They look like they might try to attempt a field goal here to win this game. 4th down from the 10-yard line.
It'll be a 27-yard field goal attempt by Johnsburg. They'll be going into a little bit of a breeze.
Like we mentioned before, their 2 touchdowns, they went for 2-point conversions. They never elected to kick this ball.
16-16 is the score on the board. We're in overtime here at Geneseo, and Johnsburg takes their timeout here in overtime.
Well, right now, Geneseo's, I mean, I'm sure everybody like we are here are just holding their breath. And they're, you know, with a passing team, we saw 2 pass plays right to the end zone where Geneseo was able to break them up and stay alive. And right now
the receivers were able to get their hands on it. That's what just 2 of them, they hit their hands on it.
But it's not a catch unless you come down with it. So 4th and goal here, and it looks like Johnsburg's going to set up here to kick a game-winning field goal. And like we mentioned, we haven't even seen their kicker perform here tonight, so we don't, or this afternoon. So we're not sure what we're going to.
As far as kicking the ball off, both times they had number 66 do the kicking chores from the kickoffs, and both times they were kind of a knuckleball kick down the field. The kicker they brought on here to kick this extra point is number 2, I believe. He's not on the program. For the Johnsburg team, maybe a sophomore kicker they brought up for the day.
They look like they're going to go for it here.
You're right. Now they do look like they're going to go for it. No, they are going to.
Nope. 66 is going to attempt
66 is going to try the attempt. If his kickoffs were any indication, he didn't have a whole lot of square kicking to it. It's number 66.
And they've had problems with the
230-pound kicker here. Okay. They're going to go for the field goal to win this game in overtime. It'll be a 27-yard attempt into a breeze. A lot of pressure on the kicker here. Snap is high, kicks up, and blocked by Geneseo. They can kick it up and run it.
Go! Oh, you can't advance it.
No, you can't advance it in overtime.
Oh.
Okay. You can't advance it in overtime.
He had a wall, too. Nice play defensively. Geneseo lives on for a second overtime. The snap was high, and the quarterback did a nice job of getting it down for 66, but by then Geneseo's defense was in there, and they blocked it.
Snap was a little high. Now Johnsburg will retain, will start over. They will go on offense once again. Johnsburg this time has the opportunity to score first.
Wow, what a game here this afternoon here at Geneseo High School. It's 16-16, and we're in, both teams had a chance to score in the first overtime and were unsuccessful. And that time Geneseo's defense really came up to the call here and was able to block that field goal. And we're going to move into a second overtime here against Johnsburg Skyhawks and Geneseo Maple Leafs.
Boy, what excitement this is here.
Usually the way you'll deal this now is that I believe Johnsburg will have the ball here, and Geneseo will have the choice to play defense here, and that way you can see what they're going to do here. And obviously, if we get a chance to kick a field goal, we know we've got Adam Timberman there that can do it very well. So here we take a deep breath.
We'll retain and stay down at that south end zone.
Defense really came up big there, John.
They may have the opportunity here to once again choose which end zone they want to play at. So we will go to a second overtime with a score 16-16.
Well, right now Geneseo, you know, if they get the ball back and it's a 4th and 2, you got to wonder if they don't go for the field goal here and put points on the board to try to extend this. Let's just see them put the ball in the end zone here and get out of here.
I once played in a 7 overtime game.
Did you win?
Eons ago.
The key is, did you win?
No, we didn't.
Oh. We'll pretend you said you did, and we'll go on here to the second overtime.
So Johnsburg does get the call there. They will go to the north end zone now and play this extra period, or this extra overtime, the second overtime, and Geneseo will go on defense first.
Well, Geneseo's got to be really pleased with that. I know they got shut off on 4 straight plays and got shut down on the goal line, and they've really got to be happy with the way their defense came out here and shut this passing game down of Johnsburg here. That's
Geneseo's fans come to their feet to support their boys as they go back out in the field to play defense. They will set the ball at the 10-yard line for Johnsburg here. They'll have first and goal from the 10. We're in sudden death overtime at Geneseo in this first round game. No first downs, just at the 10, going to the end zone. Johnsburg comes to the line of scrimmage. They'll go with one back in the backfield, and once again, it looks to me like, Josh, they might bring a quarterback up under center here for the second time this afternoon.
Well, it'll be something different. They haven't done it very much, and I think they've been having problems with that snap. I wonder if that's
Quarterback under center, one back in the backfield. Drop back the pass, gives a draw play to him. Going to be close to the goal line. Going to be short of the goal line as they keep him out. As they run the draw play. Gets inside the 1 yard line, right down near the end zone. Goes Johnsburg.
That was Johnsburg seeing something they saw in that last possession when they had the ball and weren't able to do it. They just a draw play. They spread you out and they leave the middle wide open. And that time they just were able to gash it for almost 9 yards. It's going to be second goal here for Geneseo at the goal line. And they defensive line really got to make a play here.
They spread you so thin up front, then they come back with the play right after the gut. Nice play call that time by Johnsburg. The Skyhawks on the door here, getting ready to knock it in. Second and goal from about the 1. Look him over once again. The quarterback goes under center. Glazier walks up tight from his safety position. Long count. Quarterback sneak with the ball. Touchdown for Johnsburg. No indication yet. In touchdown, Johnsburg.
Well, that's what they do. They spread you out, and that was a quarterback sneak. 2 straight runs from a passing team, and obviously they saw Geneseo's weakness there. When you spread them out, they leave you short in the middle, and were able to convert. And now is a decision time for Johnsburg here with scoring 6 points, but it leaves you in a dilemma. Do you go for 2, or do you attempt an extra point here to put you up by 7?
I'm going to guess they're going to go for 2 here. Yep, they're going to go for 2. No change in personnel. The quarterback coming to the sideline to get the play.
This is a chance for defense to make a play here. You make a play, and then you leave them with 6, and you come back down here and score yourselves and kick the extra point. You win the game, but you got to keep them out of the end zone here.
So Johnsburg puts touchdown on the board. Now they go for the extra point. All right, they go swinging gate formation. Center over the ball. All the linemen to the right. 2 receivers left. Running back goes in motion. Gives the ball to running back number 20. Now he looks to throw the ball, and it's caught in the end zone for 2. What an executed play that time, Josh. A sweep play and the swinging gate to the running back, and then he throws a halfback pass, a bullet to the receiver in the end zone to put 8 points on the board to go up by 8 over Geneseo. Geneseo's offense now has the opportunity to put that ball in the end zone and cap it off with 2 more on top of that to get this thing moved on to a 3rd overtime.
Well, credit Johnsburg's coaching staff there. They ran 3 plays that they wanted to run and saw something in Geneseo, and one went for 9 yards. The next was a touchdown, and then they came around with the sweep left and looked like he was going to run it, and Geneseo's defensive team came up and they were able to throw it and get a 2-point conversion, and now
it's up
Johnsburg's got an 8-point lead here, and Geneseo takes the ball over with 4 plays at the 10-yard line.
Now it's up to the fellows up front here. Geneseo on offense, 1st and goal from the 10. We need to put the ball in the end zone here. We have 4 downs to do it. Tight formation once again. Rivera and Paxton at the ends. Double wing formation. Quarterback Glazier's going to keep the ball this time. Number 10 inside the 5, down to the 4-yard line goes Glazier. Brings 2nd and goal from the 4.
Well, that's much like what Johnsburg did on their first play. It was just a quarterback draw, and that time he was able to get 6 yards. And Geneseo's only offensive problem has been the penalty, John. And they're inside the 4-yard line here with 2nd down, and you obviously 4 down territory because you got to put the ball in the end zone. But that's not the biggest concern. You got to put the ball in the end zone, then you got to get the 2-point conversion to send this to a 3rd overtime.
Everybody on their feet here at Geneseo. Both sidelines are full of people. The stands, nobody sat down here in the last half an hour. 2nd and goal from the 4 for the Leafs. Russell comes in motion, fullback, gets the ball, 2nd man through, gets the ball this time, goes Russell down to almost put the thing on the stripes. Going to be down to the 1-yard line. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 1 for the Leafs.
Well, right now you don't want to get anything tricky. You don't want to out-trick yourself here. You're getting 3-4 yards of crack. You got Tyler Root, the fullback, who's just running up the middle all the time. And 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line. You got to put this ball in the end zone, and then you got to start thinking about a 2-point conversion.
Call the play, and here comes the green machine to the line of scrimmage. Line splits, hunkered down pretty tight now. Glazier, quarterback, barks out the signal, gives it to Root, the fullback. They're still pushing him around, and there's no call yet by the officials. As they unpile, they try to find the ball carrier. Root at the bottom of the pile, see where he's at. No call yet.
4th down.
4th down, Geneseo.
Well, Geneseo's yet to convert on that goal line in 4th down. They've had 2 tries from the 1-yard line inside the 1. This looks like about the 6-inch line, and they haven't converted 2 times previous. This will be their 3rd time, and if they don't do it this time, this will be the ball game. And Geneseo's got to put this ball in the end zone here immediately.
Here we go. 4th and goal inside the 1. Glazier, the quarterback. Touchdown, Glazier. Now we have to go for 2.
Yeah, that was two parts to this scenario that Geneseo had to have, and the one part was get the ball in the end zone, and the second part's this 2-point conversion here. And
now they'll mark the ball back on the big strap in the middle of the field, and timeout's been called on the field by Geneseo.
Timeout, Geneseo.
So the score now is 22-24. Johnsburg's on top of Geneseo in the second overtime here from Geneseo.
Well, Geneseo's got to convert this 2-point conversion for their season to go on and force a third overtime here. And right now, the play calling, I'm sure coach is going to get it right. They've elected to take a timeout here, and boy, I'm running out of fingernails here, John.
Once again, yes, Geneseo does have to convert this extra point. The ball sits on extra point line, 3 yards out from the goal line.
Boy,
that's where they'll set the ball first, or now they'll have to score the 2-point conversion in order to move this game into the triple overtime. If they do not score, this game will be over.
Well, Coach Johnson's got a real tough decision here to make. You saw that finally we got the ball in the end zone there on the 1-yard line, but it took us 3 tries to do it. And you wonder about going up the middle, but if you get stuffed, you're hung out to dry. And if you go to pass, you're not sure. I'd like to see Kyle roll out here and make a decision on to either run the ball or throw the ball here, and leave it in your seniors' hands here on this 2-point conversion. Geneseo trailing by 2. With 1 play to get this 2-point conversion, or this game is over.
Here we go. From the 3, 1 play. Down by 2, we need the extra point. Major Kurth out wide to the right side. Glazier looks him over. He's going to sprint out action near side. Getting pressure. Going to have to get rid of the ball. Throws the ball down to incomplete, and Johnsburg is victorious. Incomplete pass in the end zone as it ran out of real estate, and that will do it for the season for the Leafs.
Well, Johnsburg you had to get the 2-point conversion because you gave it up, and Kyle Glazier knew he had to get rid of the ball, and he couldn't force a sack, and he just threw it into the end zone to his big guy there, Grant.
Just hoping something happened.
Yep, you had to give him a chance to go up and get it. And the Johnsburg's defender did a nice job of pulling this down, and as it goes, Geneseo's going to lose 24-22 in the second overtime, and the 1 and 2 seed in this quadrant are gone for the playoffs.
That does open the quadrant wide open for anybody at this point.
Well, it's just Geneseo just never adjusted that first half to the pass, and they put up 16 big points, and you can look back and you can think about what if and what if and what if, but the penalties were disruptive. That cost them a couple of drives, cost them a touchdown on 1 play, and they got stopped 3 times on 4th down to actually take a score 1 before half, and they had their chances. They just they got beat today, John.
Yep. What a battle it was, though, out in that field today, Josh. I mean, back and forth they went.
Well,
oh, boy.
Real good game. These kids got nothing to hold their hats down. They Johnsburg came out and they really impressed me. They played a lot better than I thought they would. The passing attack was just phenomenal, the way they spread things out. And Geneseo's secondary had a tough time. And nobody feels tougher than these seniors out here walking off this field, because they busted their ass today, and they were just on the tail end of a losing effort.
Some of the players in the field catching a hug on the field. Mason Kernan, I'm sort of just, like I said, just ripped the hearts out of the seniors as they walk off this field for the last time as a Green Machine player.
Well, such a disappointing loss, too, the way they came back and battled that second half and came right out from the opening gun there in the second half and put 16 quick points back up to tie this ball game. And they held them off there right at the end of regulation to keep them out of the end zone to force the overtime, and then they didn't score themselves and were able to hold that passing team again on 4 plays and turn it into a second overtime. It's just it just wasn't meant to be there at the end, and Geneseo's going to fall down here 24-22.
We have the Johnsburg team now standing here in front of us, singing the school fight song to us.
And credit them, they played a good game.
They did play a good game today. So Geneseo will close out the season with a record of 8-2 on the season. We'll cap off some of the stats here. 4 team stats. And first downs, Geneseo 21 first downs, Johnsburg 18. Rushing the ball, Geneseo 334 yards rushing, Johnsburg -1. Passing the ball, Geneseo 6 of 12 for 48 yards. Johnsburg 24 of 39 for 313 yards. Total offense, Geneseo with 382, Johnsburg 312. 382 to 312. Fumbles, Johnsburg had 4 fumbles, lost 1. Penalties, Geneseo 6 penalties for 45 yards. Penalties for Johnsburg, 4 penalties for 36. Punting the ball, Geneseo 2 punts for 35. Johnsburg 2 punts for 51. So a lot of offense by Geneseo, 382, but just not enough in the end zone to get it done today. And then overtime. Before I close out, we skipped through, senior night here was pretty, ran by us pretty quick that night. We'd like to just recognize these seniors we have on this team that have given so much since, probably since the 5th grade, as far as what they've done for this football program as the little leaguers and work their ways up through the time when they get the helmet, the G on the helmet as a junior, and then this year as they go into the lights as the dominant seniors, as they always do come through and keep this program alive. Let's recognize these seniors that just played their last game here in the first round playoff. Number 10, Kyle Glazer, the quarterback. Other seniors on the team will move down the list here. Dakin Munson, number 14. Manny Rivera, number 18. On down to Sean Russell, number 23. Mason Kernan, number 31. Kevin Powell, number 33. Nathan Paxton, number 35. Skylar Miller, number 45. Andrew Sharp, number 50. John Hamilton, number 54. Joe Paradiso, number 55. Jared Dornfeld, number 62. Andrew Hull, number 66. Michael Henry, number 70. Other seniors, Justin Tiffenbach, number 84. Grant Majorkirk, number 85. Andrew Martins, number 88. And that wraps it up for the seniors as they play their last game here as the Geneseo Green Machine. Has to be a very emotional time for those players, those seniors, as they'll take off the Geneseo equipment, the G on the helmet, for the last time this evening or this afternoon as they leave the locker room.
Well, one thing you ask as a coach is you leave it on the field, John, and I think those seniors did that tonight. They came back down 16-0 at halftime to a team they weren't sure what was going on, who they were really facing as far as passing-wise, and he came up and scorched them the first half, and they had a chance to roll over and not come out for the second half, and they did the exact opposite. It was a tale of 2 halves. Geneseo came out, matched them in points, 16-0 to force the first overtime, and boy, they left it on the field. They're just on the short end of the score tonight.
So that's going to pretty much wrap it up for us here for the 05 season here from Geneseo in the first round playoff loss to the Johnsburg Skyhawks by the score of 24-22 double overtime loss here at Geneseo. So I'd like to sign off for the final time for this season. For John Buzzard, our statistician, for Willis Andel, our #1 statistician and computer guru here in the press box, for Keith Kennan, who puts this whole show together and keeps us together, for Josh Pierce. Josh, the season goes by pretty quick when you're back behind the microphone here.
It seemed like every Friday came just around the corner, and it was a real privilege to watch these seniors and this Geneseo football team all year long, and I thank you guys for having me up here.
All right, for Josh Pierce, I am John Rowley. Again, the final score here from Geneseo. The final game of the season, Geneseo wraps up the season with a record of 8-2 with a first round loss to Johnsburg Skyhawks, losing by the score of 24-22 here at Geneseo. And that'll wrap it up for us here this evening. See you, bye.
Yorkville team still out on the south end zone, I guess, with Little Bubba on their coach. But final score remained the same, 41-32 in Geneseo. And Geneseo's offense awoke today and put the points on the board that certainly at halftime never got any indication that's what we'd be putting up on the board. But they came out and just completely dominated the offense on the board. Dominated the second half on the offensive front when we had the ball in our hands. I believe Kincaid had one punt, was all in the second half. And that's bodes good for your offensive side of the ball. So we're waiting on some stats from the statisticians here, and we'll give you a few of the totals here to end the game. And I didn't pick up any other scores across the PA system across the field as far as other games going on in the area today. But we know we had Cambridge and Anawan along with Rock Island and the like. Oh, here comes some stats right now in activity today. So here we go. The stats on the game. Let's start with Yorkville. Ballman for Yorkville had 109 yards on 12 carries. He's the one that broke about a 60-yard run there in the first half to make up most of his totals. Quaid, the quarterback, was 11 of 22 for 202 yards passing today. 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. And as far as their team totals, first downs, Yorkville 16. Rushing, they had 28 rushes for 158 yards, 222 yards passing. Their total offense is 390 yards total offense. Penalties only penalized 1 time today for 5 yards. Time of possession 17 minutes 16 seconds. And then the punt average, they had 6 punts and an average of 38 yards, and return yards 40 yards. On Geneseo's side of the ball, we had Andre Jackson, a stellar game today, 20 carries for 136 yards. 4 touchdowns for Jackson today. Correct, yeah, 4 touchdowns for Jackson. Aaron Cuban, another nice game for him, 139 yards on 19 carries. Here's a 1-2 punch for you in the backfield right now. Eric Norm had 17 yards. Huggy Anderson, 6 carries for 31 tough yards. Justin Gray had 92 yards on 18 carries. 2 of 6 in the passing department for Justin for 71 yards. Russell caught both balls for 72 yards. 1 was for a touchdown. First downs, Geneseo 23 first downs. Rushing the ball 415 yards on the ground today.
That's pretty impressive, John, to have that many yards on the ground this afternoon.
66, carried the ball 66 times, 415 yards. Passing the ball, we had 71 yards passing for total offense of 486 yards total offense. We had 3 fumbles, we lost 1 of them. Penalties, we had 4 penalties for 40 yards. Time of possession, 30 minutes and 44 seconds. Punting, 4 punts for 38 yards. Return yards of 80 yards return for Russell. On the page here, we have rushing the ball. We had 44 yards rushing in the first quarter, 142 in the second quarter, 127 in the third quarter, and 105 in the fourth quarter. And what can you say? We'll move on to the second round of the playoffs, and that's all you want to hear at this point.
Certainly did, John. A great ball game here this afternoon from J. Donnell Senior High School. First round playoff action. Geneseo Maple Leafs 41. And Yorkville Foxes 32. TV 50 and WGRG 100.5 FM. Thanks to Keith Kennett, our technical producer, Mindy and Mark Yoon, Willis Handel, John Rowley. I am Clint Rice. See you next week. Bye.